Oh, welcome to Chapter Pirate. Thou shalt be dubbed Chapter Pirate. So, welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good week. Let's forget about all that. It's time for adventure. So, what did we agree to? Okay, last session, you guys prepared to go upon the high seas. The vow of salt to the Beast of Isles has been secured, um, and it's time to get down to business. Shirku Marine uh, told you that he had someone very interesting that he wanted you to meet. You came before archaeologist and spirit speaker Jorlin Vor, a renowned archaeologist who was the only person to successfully lead an expedition into the Visa Isles and find something worth talking about, which was a long lost serpent folk empire. If you were wondering if uh, oh god, the cloaked serpent, there it is. If you were ever wondering if the cloaked serpent had activity on the Visa Isles, it seems this archaeologist is able to confirm it. If, of course, his findings are correct, as he claimed that when he returned to bring back his finding, the Chroma Conclave had descended upon Emon, and thus he kind of got brushed to the wayside, understandably. So, the chance of a lifetime has come upon him. He bought you all a drink and skipped down the street ready to pack his bags to go on his long-awaited expedition back to the Visa Isles to rediscover his previous discovery and to help you all out, which is great. Hero and Yvaine went to go have some piratey outfits made, which I hope you all liked. And more importantly, you sat down Beverly and said, "Look, lady, something's up. What's going on?" And she did reveal to you that she's been having a bit of a crisis, a paladin-esque crisis of faith. She has lost access to her paladin powers, her divine magics, and powers are beyond her. It seems that Bahamut is upset with her, has relinquished her other abilities. She has gone to pray every day since it's happened. She has donated um, staggering sums of coin to the church. Um, but alas, it doesn't seem to reach the ears. And Yvaine and Kiro suggested that she seek the counsel of an actual clerical priest, reveal what's going on, and be upright about that. And Beverly also revealed that she's been thinking about other gods. With Yvaine's gift of the spear and all of this talk about sort of moonlit romance, especially between Ember's mom and Finch's dad, and her own connection to the Fae, which is then indeed connected to the Moon Maiden. She has indeed been thinking about the Moon Maiden, wonders if that's why Bahamut is angry with her. So she is still a capable warrior, but unfortunately, the magics of Bahamut are beyond her for the time being. She's having a bit of a crisis, and they suggested her talking to Shirku, because he's such a religious fella, a paladin himself, and isn't one who perhaps lives up to the immense expectations of Finch, who is like a literal demigod. Drysrinn went to meet with her parents, and it was a pretty awkward time. Um, Father was rather gruff, mother a little bit distant, Drysrinn a little confrontational, and there's clearly a long, dense, uncomfortable history there, and Yvaine Lee left some flowers to piss them off, um, because that's how it goes. Tormada had a very strange experience, having had shopped and indeed secured the helm of teleportation, and had it transmitted into a very cool hat. Um, you saw an old individual from your past in the crowd. You delivered that message to the clergy of Bahamut and kind of went on your way. You also used the power of legend lore to try and figure out what's going on there and gained something of a slightly cryptic riddle about being reshaped and risen from the depths of hell. And not entirely answering the answer, but certainly pointing you in a direction. Last but not least, Hero dreamwalked and brainwalked into her mom's somewhat glorious and awkward dream. And the two of them agreed to a 740, or excuse me, a 730 split of the loot in the way of Mama. And she said, shoot me another one of these magical dreams tomorrow to prove that, I'm not high as fuck. Right. Well, that it's not because I'm high as fuck I'm having these dreams. So that's the key. And with that, you awoken on day 23 on the month of Horisol. And it's time to go sail the seven. Well, no, there's no seven seas here. Go sail just one, well, maybe two seas in this voyage. The Osmit Sea and the other one. Sorry, but anyway, you all wake up today, and in the early morning, it's time to go meet Shirku and get acquainted with the Vow of Salt as you all wake up and say a very temporary goodbye to your bastion, as you do have powers to come and go as you please now. Yeah, any last very small tidbits of anything you'd like to do before getting on the boat, because that is something you'll be doing this morning, so not a lot of time to do much. I will say a quick thing from me, as you leave Drysrinn, Roshkra Cleave is like, don't miss training. I know I can't beat your ass, but I know people who can.
Why would I slack off now?
I had an apprentice who said the same thing, and now he's
Oh my
politics.
god. So you're making general. Okay. This is why I don't like it. This is why
I'm an old
I like
man.
to
I'm set
punch
in
you.
my ways. Go enjoy the sea or whatever. Get connected with the Storm Lord.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Love Rockstruck so
I love
much.
Rajka.
He's such a grumpy old fuck. I love him. Okay, incredible. Is there anything any of you guys would like to do? Any last little things before hitting the ship? Yes, Yvaine.
I just want to make a point that I am grabbing the 3 vials of holy water that we have in stock.
Yep.
Just for the halibut, I'm grabbing the 3 lemons of lesser restoration that our tree provides. If we can't use them today, we'll make lemonade of them or use them for fish. But they're coming with us for the time being.
Fair enough.
And she's specifically bringing 2 of her books.
Yep, absolutely. Fantastic. Okie dokie. With that, it's a sailing time. Some of you are dressed up, ready for the seas. Kiro and Yvaine probably like back to back, like a real sailory together. Beverly, of course, comes up like this. But well equipped, and all of you are ready to sail. It's a big day. You spent all this time on the port. Time to use it. All right. Yeah, Yvaine?
When we gather on the boat, I'm going to ask everyone to sort of hang out for 11 minutes in my general direction, and I'm going to cast water breathing and let everyone know that every morning when we get together, like when we wake up and have lunch, we're all going to get together, and I'm going to, that way if anyone gets pitched over into the drink, we won't die.
Cowards. Cowards. All right. It's a great move. Very good precaution for being on the sea.
And I'll quietly remind Bev to make sure she's got her ring of swimming with her. She's wearing a lot of armor.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I'm not wearing the armor just for now because it's the sea and it's supposed to be very hot. But she's like got it slung over her shoulder. It's maybe just the breastplate. It's fine. And you guys will head down to the docks. We'll see that you do that before you leave the house. You go over to Shirku. There's a couple of sailors in a rowboat off to the side. Shirku's kind of like laying on the edge of the dock, like looking up into the sky. He's got like a pipe in his mouth, puffing some smoke in the early morning. He sees you all coming, he goes, it's time! And he stands up, takes the pipe out of his mouth, and goes, Well, I'm very excited. It's going to be a very good journey for us, I'd say, huh? Everybody got everything packed, ready to go? Jump aboard with the Vow of Salts for a great adventure on the sea? Okay. Everybody hop in the rowboats. Keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times. And indeed, if you hop in, there'll be like two sailors who will like do the rowing for you guys, and you're gonna row out to the Vow of Salt, which is sort of situated out, not necessarily up at the dock, but a little out because it's a big old ship. Somewhere between it's more somewhere between it's more of like a sailing ship. A little bit more than a sailing ship, almost looks modified in a way, but it's a very fine ship, very fine vessel. It is a three-mast, maybe even four-mast vessel. Plenty of crow's nests. You guys are hoisted up on board. This is clearly at least four-deck ship, maybe even five-deck ship, which is impressive. And and he says, "Welcome to the love of my life, the Vow of Salt. Isn't she beautiful?" You're all hoisted up aboard, and I'm going to take you over to the. I'm going to take you over there. And we're going to get acquainted with the ship and her crew. Now, this is the Vow of Salt. We are a family here. We all get along really well. We fight, drink, piss each other off. Just a couple short rules. This is the Vow of Salt. We respect the Vow of Salt. She's a beautiful woman, and we will treat her as such. Respect, dignity, all these things. Second, if you destroy something on the ship, you buy it. And the third is, if you're going to fight, fight above deck. And drinking, yes, drink above deck, please. No below deck. You don't need anyone making a certain smell down below if you've had a little too much. It's a problem aboard ships. You'd be surprised. Actually, well, if you know anything about ships, you wouldn't be too surprised. But anyway, welcome aboard, my friends. Now, let me introduce you to the person you're going to be talking to most. He's going to take you aboard this ship. Zorland is already aboard, kind of looking a little awkward as he is like, some sailor throws some rope in his hands and he kind of moves over and is being put to work a little bit here. Just gonna get out my Vow of Salt document. All right. He is going to take you over. Says, "All right, here she is, my beautiful first mate. You are going to see this air genasi woman with sort of almost kind of see-through skin, a little bit, almost like there's a little bit of like a roiling kind of cloud that sort of makes up her skin. If that cloud wasn't there, you imagine she'd almost be translucent, as if her skin almost seems to blend with the air a little bit if you kind of catch her in the right light. She's pretty though. She has blonde hair and she's dressed like any captain, big old tricorn hat with a big purple feather coming out of it, equipped with a cutlass and pistol. Says, "This is First Mate Stormgale. She is going to be handling you and all your problems. You can come to me if you wish, but she manages the crew, manages morale and navigation. Hero, I know you are a navigator, so you will be working with her most closely, if that is your wish. And if you, well, she's like the thunder aboard our ship. She keeps us moving in the right direction, and if it's a little too stormy, well, she will shut that down. Shit down very quickly. So I'm going to go take a look around the ship, make sure everything is shaped up and ready to go, and I'll leave you in First Mate Stormgale's capable hands. And Miss Captain Marine will walk away and say some very captainy stuff like, hoist the sails, pull the... I don't know ship terms. But he certainly does, and he goes and calls them off very expertly, and the ship begins to sort of wrangle itself. The first mate looks at you all and says, oh, as a fun note, Amulet of the Stormlord, very prevalently featured between her, somewhat exposed bosom. And she will say, welcome aboard. So, you're all on a expedition to the Visa Isles. You're our wonderful Tal'Dorei client, that is.
Indeed, that would be us.
Well, welcome aboard. You should be happy to note that we've cleared the officers out of their cabin and given a nice cushy place for you to sleep. We will not hear any resilience about that for paying us far too much. So, let me show you around. And she kind of turns on her heel and starts walking before you can get a word out, Yvaine.
I didn't mean to put anyone on. I thought I'd sleep in the crow's nest, honestly. Oh.
But believe me, they're going to build the coin mistress.
I know, I just hate to put anyone out of their bed.
So you're gonna say, "Are you coming?"
We were walking the entire time.
Just throw a little flavor in there. She says, "So, Bow Assault is a fine vessel. She crews about 40 individuals. She has 2 ballistas out there on the foredeck, 2 ballistas here on the main deck with a mangonel, and 2 more ballistas up on the poop deck. Yes, you like it, your laughs out now. That is the highest deck up top. Now, we have a number of officers here that you can speak to if you need anything, or any of the regular crew, but they're a bit of a salty bunch. I was told I have to say that. Anyway, if you are looking for the quartermaster, yes, let me introduce you. Where is that bastard? And is going to take you. Where are you? Not the. Yes. It takes you up to the foredeck, and you're going to see this bit of an unusual character. You're going to see this. Let's see, what is their whole sitch? This surprise for all the heat and how much Goliaths don't wear clothes because they're so resilient to the cold. Wearing a lot of robes in this hot heat, and seems to be like sweating pretty profusely underneath, but wears these robes anyway. You see this tall but somewhat thin for a Goliath individual, and says, "This is Quartermaster Brelta." Now, Brelta is in charge of keeping this ship afloat, making sure that the weapons are all properly upgraded and taken care of. All of these sort of things. You may speak to them if you wish to do so. They're a monk. They also handle boarding situations. So if we find ourselves in a bit of a pickle with some pirates, they will be leading the boarding party. Next, who would you like to speak to? Oh, yes, of course, the bosun. And it's going to take you down to this half-orc woman, who is, full-blooded orc, talking to some of the workers. Says, "That is Boatswain Ser. Now, they are a former mercenary, and now oversee the deck and crew, and if there's something that needs repaired, you let them know. The arcane officer you'll find up on the poop deck is hard to miss, a satyr. Call him Mr. Thistle. That's his name, and he is rather good at healing magics and understanding the weather, things like that. A magic expert, essentially, and healer. And last but not least, if you go below deck, you're going to find a dwarf in the kitchen. Goes by the name of Cook Brelta. She's in charge of keeping your belly full. So if you want to bitch at someone, bitch at them, or bitch at me. And last but not least, there should be a rather unusual cat around here somewhere. She's sort of a mascot and mouse control creature. She's I wouldn't fuck with her. I just wouldn't fuck with her. Can't miss her. She has wings, and she talks.
Happy, be careful.
Yeah. Yes, she is a telepathic winged cat who is probably smarter than you. So, any questions? Mm-hmm.
I have some rudimentary skill with water and air control. I don't know if I can be of any help, but I would like to. I think one of my spells might be able to capsize a ship. I was hoping to try that at some point.
No.
Not this one, another ship.
Right. Okay. Well, why don't you talk to Mr. Thistle? He will understand that Better than not. But yes, please do not try that on this ship, or I will kill you, personally. Any other questions? Wonderful clients. No? Well, if you do, let me know. Consider me your personal babysitter for the time being. And of course, Captain Marine thinks you're all rather interesting people, so feel free to speak to him too. But he could get quite busy with all of his many affairs. I'll be around. Ta-ta. And she will kind of walk away across the deck. And with that, the ship's sails are hoisted about at this point. And very slowly, you're going to see Emon starting to smaller and smaller as the ship begins to make sail. You hear some sailor from the crow's nest say, "3 days to the Visa Isles!" And with that, you're on your way.
Oh, I'm also going to go up to Drysrinn, and I'm going to hand her a necklace. It's kind of a gold chain, and it's sort of got sort of a green sort of gem suspended in like a diamond-shaped cage. And she gives it to you, and she says, "I'm a pretty good combat healer, but you get quite a bit ahead of me, and that happens, and that's fine. If something happens and someone gets you down when I'm not there, if you're wearing this, it's going to help you get up. It's going to like give you a minute. So like the next thing you got to do is going to be to heal yourself, or I get up to you. But it'll keep you from like eating shit, you know. So yeah, you should keep this on you for a little while. If you want to."
Thank you, Yvaine. This sounds really helpful, if I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize how much faster I was until yeah. So thank
And
you.
I have just given her a periapt of wound closure that Yvaine bought for herself when she was marked for death.
All right. Amazing. Okay. So, set sail, take to the high seas. And we'll just crack home. Yeah, by all means.
While everyone's still gathered, Tormata's actually gonna, like, I don't know, a railing or something, a table, whatever there is. He's gonna put that hat box on there, and he's gonna push it to the middle, and here, he's gonna look at Ember and say, "Why don't you do the honors?"
It would help if I unmuted myself first. You did all the shopping. You selected the style onto it. By all means. The presentation is yours.
He just flips the top off the box. Here you guys go. And then like kind of leans back. And then you guys need me to share the picture again, or everybody remember what it looks like?
Hey, it couldn't hurt.
That's the link that has multiple views of it.
Nice.
But instead of you know, like the wolf head It's like a mixture between all of our deities, like a multi-symbol. And
Oh, that's nice.
instead of having Argos on it, it actually has Emon. So the shoreline's more shaped like where we're at.
That's fantastic.
That's quite something, Tomada.
I figured it would fit the vibe of what we're doing here. But more importantly, as we were talking about, moving people around via magic, this is a helm of teleportation. 3 times within a 24-hour period, you can cast the teleport spell.
Oh, that's handy dandy.
Yeah, but it does require you linking to it. So I'm not really sure who's got open, who has the ability to still do so. But figured having someone else with the ability to move around doesn't just put it all on me. And Yvaine, I think you're attempting to do trees.
I'm so close. I'm so close. So close. It just sort of fizzles out yet, but soon. So close. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good idea.
Beverly will say, I left my ice boots at home, but I mean, I don't want to take it. No, oh God, I'm just giving information. I'm
But
not
no,
asking for it.
But it's so perfect. It's so perfect, and we don't need the ice boots on a tropical island. Like that was a very good thing to leave. We don't need the ice boots. You're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna come up with snow there.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
one could only wish.
She says, she looks at you, Tormund, and goes, well, just so you know, if you wanted some cool boots that are really good for like cold and stuff, I'd be willing. We could do a tradesies if you want. You can like walk in the snow really easy, and cold doesn't hurt you as much.
Again, the cold and I have a very close relationship, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. But by all means, seeing as how you are the first that spoke up, you get the hat. It's only fitting.
Oh,
you must put it on. I have to see it. You don't have to use it. I just want to see it.
Okay. I don't. And if somebody else,
the color palette goes well with your cruise attire.
It so does.
She kind of, maybe there's some private part of her beyond the politeness that is like, okay. And she kind of takes her hand off from hiding herself, and she does like put on the hat. And in fairness, just from what I've seen, I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think the sort of flopped kind of sea-themed hat goes very well with the piratey outfit, the sailory outfit.
You've got some of the coolest magic items.
Of a jaunty rig.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tilt.
Absolutely. Had to be done.
Perfect.
She just kind of like awkwardly stands, like she doesn't buy them with it yet, but she at least isn't like covering herself anymore. She kind of just stands there with like this stupid smile on her face. She's like,
and you have shade no matter where you go.
Yeah, I won't get burned. I can get burned. I know that. No, you're right. This is great. I was actually curious why, in consideration of, it's going to be very hot, why it's so low cut. But thank you. But if anyone ever wants it, that's okay too. I don't need to have the hat. It's a very nice hat though.
For now, I think it's a perfect pairing.
Okay, I'm gonna go attune to it. She runs, despite herself, she runs away very excitedly to go attune to it. She's gonna go sit in her room and play with her hat. Oh, this is gonna be great. This is just the sort of trickery nonsense that she needs to fully embrace herself. Teleport around. Fuck, I ran out.
No, it's
Oh, she's gonna be the best messenger.
there she
Um,
is.
Incredible. Best squire ever. Takes you anywhere in the world you need to go instantly. All right. Move. Okay, cool. Beverly is the recipient of the helm of teleport. The hat of teleportation. Cool. But that is certainly up for grabs if anyone wants it. She as she has said, would take no offense. Okay, beautiful. Is there anything anyone wants to do aboard the ship? If you guys, I'll show you. I mean, the ship's fully decked out. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
That was
But anyway,
perfect.
yeah, there's your quarters. Right there. You guys have a couple of chests to store your goods in. There are 6 bunks, and some shelves. A little desk for you to utilize if you need. It's more of like a chest with a stool next to it, but pirates. Or sailors. Definitely not pirates. You got a nice little window, though. Isn't that great? And you would be told by the first mate that there is the sort of meeting room next door, which you are fully welcome to utilize. And it does feature a map of Tal'Dorei, various seaways, and so on, where meetings are held with officers, and you're more than welcome to utilize that if you need some privacy. If you ever need to call on the first mate, or Shirku's like, if you ever need to call on me in the middle of the night for some very important purpose, my door is the one to the right. And she says, and he would say, like, and as for the rooms in the foredeck and below deck, they're mostly crew quarters and cargo. But if you want some food, you will find it at the back of the first cargo deck. And then below that is the hold, where there's even more cargo. So with that, you kind of have a full summary of the place, and may do what you will. And if you guys just want to fast travel to these isles, that's perfectly fine. See what random encounters hit. But is there anything you want to do?
We actually get a tour of the whole ship.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Sure
is
do.
there water in the bottom of your ship?
Because Tailspire's dumb. Goes, oh, sorry about that. Let me just adjust Tailspire. There we go. Yeah, and that Earth is like just like solid decking.
Oh, so there's really not chunks of brick down there?
It's
No, there should not.
Bellastone. Yes, there's chunks of brick down there.
Oh, I don't know a lot about ships, so yeah,
I
of
do.
course.
They're ballast
Yeah.
stones. It's what keeps the keel centered and on the bottom.
Fair enough. Damn, I guess some good detail went into this ship.
Well, then I guess Tormata is gonna be like, oh, I guess I learned something new today.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm not certain Ember would own that knowledge. Eric owns that knowledge.
And by extension, the officers would go, of course. They're ballast stones.
Yeah, Tommy
Everyone
knows
knows
that, but
Yeah.
yeah, Tormata.
I just found out. Yeah, I don't. But yeah, apparently there's stones down there. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, you'd also see that there's like, I think the cauldron does make sense that it's down there, and that's where some of the cooking happens. There is like a little bosun's section here with like raw materials that can be accessed from the forward deck or the cargo deck. And yeah, if you get a full tour. The only place you're not shown is like this room at the back that is sealed by like a pretty heavily iron barred door. And they just say that's the treasure room.
Fair enough. The first thing that Ember is going to do is demoralize the crew.
Okay. Demoralize
He's
it.
going to grab a hunk of rope. He's going to lay out the flying carpet. He's going to tether the flying carpet to the rope, tether the other rope to the main mast. He's going to kick back, pour himself a glass of wine, and relax.
That is incredible.
But flying high enough that he's not in the way.
You certainly become very popular very quickly. So, yeah. I imagine Ember just like sunbathing up there,
Oh
just
yeah, I
no,
like it warm.
that's fair. When you come down from whenever you decide to come down, you're more popular than when you first went up, and you've made some friends on the ship, who have just mysteriously all just become very buddy buddy with you, and don't say anything about the carpet, but maybe there's if you ever, you know, you get some jokes cracked at you from the guys on the crow's nest. We're like, "Can I get you a drink?" or something like that.
Have
Um,
one, thank you.
and they kind of like roll their eyes and shake their heads
Uh,
and make a big
and
smile.
a little, add a little water. Hit it with, uh, shape water with ice.
They're like, grumble and walk away. Go back to work in the hot sun. You've definitely either made some friends or some jealous, grumpy rivals, shall we say?
Someone has to play
One
the
or the other.
tourist.
And you play it well, my friend. You play it very well indeed. That's hilarious. Anybody else? Yes, Yvaine.
Um, Yvaine has a number of tasks that I feel like we can just say that she did and be good with. Yvaine would like to begin learning draconic, since that's apparently something that she needs to know. So over the next 3 days, whenever she can get with either Drysrinn or Tomata, whoever will tolerate her nerdiness. She
What's
will
your
be
intelligence modifier?
12. I feel like it takes me 360 hours to learn a language.
Oh no. Woo! That's too many hours, I think. Well, maybe actually. Let me double check.
Oh, it would be lovely if it was
Um,
less.
well, that would take 9 work weeks times 5 is 45 days times 8 hours a day. No, you're right. It's 360 hours. Um, so yeah, you can get started on that. You can just dedicate 8 hours a day to study, and if Drysrinn and Tormata want to do that, you guys are more than welcome to. Just kind of maybe you go half and half on it, or whatever you want to do. That's up to you guys. If you want to, of course.
If you ask him, you see Tormari, he'll open his bag and you've seen him do it before. His bag is like compartmentalized, so he like somewhere around the bottom 1/3, you see him undo a couple of straps and then lays it out. And there is it's probably, I think at this point it's been 25 years. So there's about 25 little books about the size of your hand. And you see him, he's like going through them. And he pulls out one from like early in the pile. And he slides it across to you and he says, "This should help you greatly. It is a letter for letter translation. Not word, but letter, from the common tongue into draconic runes."
She's like a kid at Christmas that just got like the hyped up thing.
Whoa, a new bike.
Yeah, like she's yeah, she will be in she will be bothering you and Drysrinn in horrible draconic for the next several weeks.
Hell yeah. And it does indeed require a trainer to do this because Duolingo only takes you so far. You need to practice. So yeah, fantastic. There, I'm just making a quick addition in Ember's rug.
We do need she will make herself obviously available to Kiro on the first evening of the journey to speak to her mother. And should Mr. Thistle request, or allow, she would be happy to cast a control winds to speed things along if he would so desire, or not if he does not desire.
All right, let's say hi to Mr. Thistle real quick. So you find this this satyr. I think it's the first satyr you ever met, actually. You see this ram horn, kind of long face, stretched out featured face. His eyes are kind of like slits. His pupils are slits, kind of these like leering wild eyes. He's got bushy eyebrows, like side pointed fey ears, and the lower half of his body is goat fur. That seems to be trimmed rather short, except around the front. He does not wear pants, and he is wearing sort of like a long, kind of green cloak with some filigree on it that looks kind of piratey, but he looks like he looks like he looks a little alien in the sense that he looks like he probably comes from some like really fancy forest culture, which is weird. And he goes, "Where do you do, young lady?"
And she's gonna smile and she's like very gonna kind of quietly say, in Sylvan she'll say, do you speak Sylvan? Would it be all right if I practice?
And he's gonna swap over to the Sylvan tongue, and he's gonna say, "You speak in no other language, dear."
And so I will say, yes. So this is Happy. He's my friend. He's my best friend. And I have some small skill with water and air. And if you had desire, or if you wanted to, I could give the air like a little more oomph if you wanted to go faster, or some such if you would like. Also, I've never fought at sea, but I think I have a spell. I worked very hard on it. I think I might be able to capsize another ship if they were trying to be mean to us.
He turns to Happy and says, "Hello, Duto Gamaraj," which is basically, "Hello to you, young Almaraj." And the Almaraj like, and it's still doing it like over dramatic, like, "It's fine." Well, see, where did you pick up such a strange creature?
Oh,
I've seen one since I passed over. All speaking to you in Sylvan at this point.
Yeah, so it's a funny story, one that I don't really understand, but I think as I'm a little older and further away from it, I think I fell into the Feywild sort of, and got chucked back out, and when I got chucked back out, he was with me.
This is a classic, truly classic. He goes, "Well, lucky for you got yourself a little friend. We're not used to being domesticated or looking intensely when people talk or."
He's not domesticated at all.
Somehow
he's
I don't
quite his own little
that.
creature.
I see. Well, go on and speak up for yourself then. And Happy kind of like, looks around, like, goes, "Well, you're so smart. Why don't you just speak some words at me?" He goes, "Oh, he's shy, is he?"
He is. He's a lover, not a fighter.
Happy gives a little nod. Goes, "Hey, I'm on to you, you wee rascal." Happy kind of like has a look of like, like looks genuinely concerned. Goes, "Well, in the meantime, would you say this? You have some watery air magic, is ya?" "Well, I must say, the captain is a great holy man, and he values the power of the gods and the natural winds and such. So, if we need a speed boost in a opportune moment, I'll give you a let know. But in the meantime, the captain is a naturalist when it comes to the sea, whatever that means. I think there's nothing more natural than magic, but, well, he has his preferences. Do you heal? You got healing magic, surgeons? Scurvy. Can you heal scurvy?"
It's a disease, yeah?
It's a disease, not a fruit.
Actually, and she'll give him a lemon.
Oh, what the hell is this?
It's a lemon, but it will heal scurvy. Actually,
It's a what? This is It's a yellow lime? But lime's green!
I
He like drops to
know.
the ground and like stands back and he's genuinely afraid of it.
No. This lovely, lovely, this lovely
Makes no sense.
druid. This lovely druid created it, and it's a very special one. It does heal diseases and such.
It's too big. It's the wrong color. It doesn't make no sense, it does.
And
Stay
then,
away! And he
and
jumps
then-
off the ship.
no, wait! Oh shit! I didn't. It's just a lemon. He's so high strung. Man overboard? Fate overboard.
I go, the first mate pokes ahead and goes, is it Thistle?
Yes.
Yeah, he's fine. They go back to
She sort of looks down. She's like, I can. Is he okay? Like she's like ready to turn into a bird and go get him out of the drink if she needs to.
you can if you want, but the first mate's like, whatever. Goes back to
Yeah, she's gonna giant eagle and go fetch him out of the water.
Got it. You go looking for him and you can't really find him. And then when you finally come back and you're like, oh my god, he's gone. You see him like walking across the deck. Like just walking and doing something else now. He's on to the next thing. Like the interaction never happened. He gives you a little wave as he walks by.
Oh, at that point, he gave a giant eagle a wave.
Yeah. Very unusual fellow. Like lemons scare him, but giant eagles don't. He's just like very casually waves through the giant pink eagle. He goes back to work.
He did ask for a cure for scurvy, though. Like, for the record, I did give him exactly what he asked for.
Yeah, Fae are my favorite kind of weird. They have very particular things they don't like. But anyway, so yeah, you're buddies with Mr. Thistle, and he's the magical expert. He does the same things that you do, sort of speed boost and water and whatever, and heals when people need a little healing. But he is a bard in practice, and he always carries around with him a lyre. Anything else anyone wants to do? Okay, if the answer is no, we'll be fine. As a fun note, you will notice at different times throughout the day, you'll see Shirku kind of walks around. Like now it's getting pretty confirmed, now that you're spending a larger amount of time around Shirku. Like every time you see him, he's wearing a different holy amulet to a different prime. He's just like, feeling Stormlord right now, or I'm feeling Sarenrae right now, or I'm feeling, and he just seems to kind of tote whatever holy amulet he wants to at any given time. Beverly's kind of happy with her hat, and that's gonna be kind of the day.
I'll call
travel?
my mom.
Go ahead.
I'll call my mom back at some point. We don't have to roleplay that though. I literally
Yeah.
because I have a feeling the dream is the same. I have a sneaking suspicion that dream is going to be the same the second time around, and I saw way too much the first time. We were poking our head in, poking out. We're going.
Yeah, you poke your head in, and you see your mother standing on the side of your ship, going. And you see like Iron Authority ships getting smashed, and like giant, like as it gets hit, rather than there being iron debris, it's just giant splashes of coin go flying across the air, and the crew goes catching it out of the air like it's like a game show. And she's like, ha 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 ha. Goes, oh, hero, good to see you. Got it. And you leave. That's basically it.
Exactly what I imagined, and
Just very animated dreams, largely involving gold.
people wonder where I get it from.
But yes, you are confirmed with you are confirmed. That night there will be a little event as you're all turning in. I'm just gonna roll to see who the lucky. It's you actually, Kiro. As you're going about the day, the first mate is gonna speak to you and say, "So, Kiro, I'm told you know your way around the ship. Is that it?"
I do.
I was told that you were going to potentially lend some assistance. Is that true?
I am always offering.
Well, Why don't you chart our course?
Okay.
She says, "Do you have your own navigator's tools? Navigator's tools?"
Yes, I do.
She takes your tools, looks them over, like trying to see if they're good tools. Seems to be satisfied. She'll take you into the stateroom, the meeting room with the ship, and she kind of sits back and puts her feet up on the table, kind of crosses her boots and gestures as if to be like, "Oh, go on." Make me a navigator's tools check. This will be I think this is just going to be a survival. This is going to be at advantage because you're proficient with navigator's tools, yeah?
Well, so that's the thing. So I am proficient with navigator's tools, but unless I've gotten better in the past couple days, I still have concussion, which would put me at disadvantage because it's a wisdom check.
Yeah, you are still concussed. This was a pretty bad concussion. It's good, and just for your knowledge, it's going to take 4 weeks from the day of your head getting pounded in to be healed. So you're going to be at a straight roll. What skill do you think Hero would utilize? What would be a good skill to use for navigating? Nature, survival?
I would say nature, mostly because she would probably, the way her dad taught her, and I think of Moana the most because I have younger siblings and they watch it all the time. But like the learning to read the stars and how, like, in what direction the wind's blowing, that's the way that he would have taught her to know where she was going. And then maps and stuff came after that.
Okay. If that's the case, make me a big fat nature check at a straight roll because you're concussed.
That's wonderful because my survival check was a +1. My nature is a +0, but I did roll an 18.
That will most certainly do. You spend a couple of minutes, not too long, but a couple of minutes. Luckily, the map is already charted with certain like waterways and tides and stuff like that, predictions and so on. And you use that to your advantage. And despite like your pounding headache to focus, like it's very clear to her that you're like struggling to focus. Like maybe you kind of like lose focus and you're kind of like, oh, okay, and your head's throbbing as you do it. But in the end, you kind of like hand her your charts. She looks them over and goes, "I'm surprised. These are pretty good. Looked like you were off at sea."
No, this is the first time in a long time, though.
Well, very good. We have our course, similar to what I had. Now, why don't you head outside and make sure we don't get lost?
Copy.
With that, she's going to put you in charge of the daily navigation. So I will now require from you a second time, this time a survival check.
Can I throw a guidance?
Sure, yeah. You see Kiro kind of like, oh, here we go. And you give him a little guidance.
You said this one's a survival check?
Yes.
At disadvantage, right? Or still at advantage because I have or still at straight roll?
Straight roll, yeah.
Okay. And then what does
D4
guidance do? Perfect. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, or actually, I'm sorry. This isn't about navigating. This is about like following your work. So this would be a disadvantage. I'm sorry to say. This is about the tools.
Okay. So then I'll just roll a second one. Probably not gonna be as good. Oh, 16 was the bad one. +1 is 17.
Wow. Despite your
Did you roll your
headache.
D4?
Oh, no, I didn't even. No, because I got a 16 and I was like, oh, look at that. Plus, never mind. They both get brought up to the same place, so 16 + 3, 19.
Today was fairly easy because you're just leaving port, which means that land is still within sight, and the weather is it's overcast. So your DC was 10. But just like the days, it's a little overcast, but you can see the shoreline. So today was very easy, and you're able to the sailors who are sort of managing the steering on the wheel, you're able to keep them ship shape for the day. You kind of keep your eyes on the seas, and the first mate kind of hangs over the railing and kind of checks in on you every now and then to make sure you keep keeping the course right. And kind of nods and goes back to what she was doing. But though you're being supervised, you are effectively you're being a very effective first mate or quartermaster, I should say.
Well, it's not the first time. First time I've had to work through an injury.
Now, as the day comes to an end, and she says, like, she disappears for like naps for like an hour or two, the first mate, unless someone knocks on her door. She comes out around the end of the night. And she goes, "All right, well, why don't you turn in? You did a very good job today. Go meet up with your friends, and I'll take over for the evening."
Thank you.
Good work today. As you're walking away, what's your passive perception?
Oh gosh. Passive perception is a 15?
15. Well, I'm trying to follow my own rules. It doesn't matter because you're not looking. But you do hear from the crow's nest. Oh no, whatever. I'm just gonna say a random one. It's a ship to starboard bow, ship to starboard bow from the crow's nest. And you kind of take a look, starboard bow, and you do see a small keel ship, bigger than a rowboat, smaller than like a long ship. It's a single mast vessel with 2 decks, fairly small ship, and it's just kind of like the sail is torn, and it's just kind of like moving with the tide off in the distance. You see a couple of people come to join you. The first mate comes and joins. Does one of those. Shirku comes over and takes out a longer one. The first mate will hand you, Kiro, her spyglass to look through, if you wish. Which is big. Spyglass is very... That's special. That's very, very special. Why don't you make me a perception check? Flat perception.
It is. Oh wait, hold on. I rolled disadvantage. I completely forgot. That's not as impressive. It's a 14.
14.
All guidance again.
Drysrinn's right there with you. Apparently has been buddy with you. Go ahead and throw another guidance, throw another d4. What?
Plus 3, what did I say? 14 plus 3 is 17?
Nice. You look off to the side and you see maybe 4 individuals that are kind of like laying about the ship as it like bobs in the waves, and a 5th kind of like leaning, hanging over the wheel, keeping it moving in the right direction. But they're all like, their lips are chapped. They all look incredibly thin, pale. This very much looks like a ship lost at sea. You're kind of catching the twilight. At this point, the party, if you would have been to the deck enough to have heard the call from Crow's Nest, can be involved at this point by all means.
How far away from where we're sitting are they? Like, how far out is their ship?
Let's see.
God damn it.
They're fairly far off. They just kind of come into visual range. So you guys can move to intercept them without too much trouble. If you had a mind to, of course. I'll demonstrate with, that is a humongous keel boat. That is not a keel boat, but whatever. It's like out here. Like kind of like just appearing out of the, on the horizon a little bit. Like probably like way out here actually, like right where the sight, because you know, Crow's Nest just saw it, so they're able to see it with their naked eye. We're just able to see it with the naked eye. So it's a little ways off, but it wouldn't be too hard to come and find it. First mate will say, "Well, what do you think? Ship lost at sea, Captain?" He goes, "What do you think, Navigator Kiro?" Should we be merciful?
I don't see any reason not to be. And they're on our way.
He goes, all right. He goes, turn the ship, 30 degrees, starboard. Calls out, and hands start appearing out from under the ship, and they start wheeling the ship around. And essentially, the event is, and it happens over the course of about some time. They kind of pull up to the side of the ship, and one guy goes to like lend down like a rope ladder to the ship, and Shirku kind of puts a hand on his chest, says, "Not so fast. Let's be careful." He kind of like looks over and says, "Ahoy down there! Looks like you're had a little too much fun on the waves. The Wild Mother has not favored you, my friends." They go, "Please, water." No, send him some water. Send him some water. And they kind of let down like a pail of water, and they start like desperately feeding themselves with water and say, "Why don't you boys tell us what happened to you down there?" And they go, "Fargo, I'm so sick. We're the Royal Mermaid. We're trying to find and it goes, trying to find Stilben. I go, "Oh, my friend, you are a little ways off. You are in the Osmit Sea off of Emon." You know, kind of just like, oh man. He goes, "Listen, whatever you were trying to deliver, I'm sure you're a little behind schedule at this point. I wouldn't worry about it too much." He says, "You say you have disease?" I go, "Yeah, we're pretty sick." And he goes, "All right, I'll be right back, everyone." And he's going to like grab a rope and kind of Jack Sparrow down the side of the ship onto their keel boat. And he's going to start kind of giving them a little lay on hands. And they all kind of begin to start to feel better. And he goes, "We're going to have to burn your ship, my friends. There's disease here. We're not bringing it onto mine." I go, "Whatever, just that's fine." And then he starts letting down rope, and they start like roping off the very tired, hungry gentleman up onto the bow of Salt. About 5 of them. And Shirku comes up and asks, "Oh yeah, go ahead."
I'm gonna lean over to Kiro. I'm not very knowledgeable about water and all that, but isn't Stilben on the other side of the continent?
It is. It is also not uncommon to find people that have been paid, quite frankly, more money than they've probably seen in their entire lives to deliver stuff that they don't have to be worried about places that they've never been before. Stillman might have been where they were told to say they were going, but that's not where they were headed.
Oh, so you think this is just somebody lying about where they're going?
Probably.
Oh,
But
I just found it amazingly convenient that this ship happened right in our path. But maybe I'm just a little paranoid. All right, thanks.
Right. No problem.
And I think with that, Tormata will turn around and start looking the other way. Because again, he's always looking for. He's paranoid.
Yeah. Maybe a perception check.
19? 18, sorry.
18. You keep a very precise look in the aft port direction, and trying to look for any signs of ambush, but find none. As the sun begins to set, these guys seem well. You don't see any attacks anyway. You don't see any sort of ambushing ships. You don't see any distraction has been made here, at least as far as you're able to see.
Maybe just being too paranoid. It happens.
These gentlemen are hauled below deck with Mr. Thistle. And someone says, "Does anyone want to do the honors with the ship?"
I
can just move us away.
All right. You heard the man. Release the keelboat, and full steam back ahead towards the Visa Isles. Get us back on track. Kiro, you're able to. Well, the first mate said like you're off duty, so the first mate kind of directs people to kind of turn away from the keelboat. They unlace it, and it kind of starts to bob away from the ship. And
Fireball.
Shirku's like, holy shit! I said put it on fire, not exploded, but it works, doesn't it? It was, with that, you guys have a couple of people below deck. Goes, sorry, gentlemen, you're just going to have to come with us until we make port next. Unfortunately, that will not be for a long time. And they go, well, where are you going? We're going to the Visa Isles. We're going to take a little trip around the southern point and make our way up north. So we can drop you in Stillbin. No. Okay. And they kind of like look like a little bit. But perhaps relieved regardless because, you know, they're no longer lost at sea on a disease boat. And they are no longer diseased. And with that, you may continue on your travels. Long rest is had by anyone who requires it. Day 2 rolls around. Okay. Again. Day 2 rolls around. First mate looks at you, Kiro, and says, you have to keep steering the ship in the right direction. I'll take that as a yes.
It is a 9.
A 9. A 9, a 9, a 9.
Can I do the thing?
Sure, you can do the thing.
I think Drysrinn's like wanting to sleep outside anyway, so she's just in the crow's nest hearing Kiro like get frustrated at this. She just keeps
Through her concussion-induced headache, just listen. It's early. What did I say? It's a +4. Oh gosh, what did I roll? 9 + 4, 13.
13. Let's see what the weather's like today. Let's see what that'll do. It's a little overcast today, so again, the DC's 10. So, yeah. You're having, like, your headache's a little extra bad today, but you're able to pull through. They let you sleep in the crow's nest, Drysrinn. But I want you to make me a Constitution saving throw, because if there was ever a point on the ship where seasickness is most possible, it's at the highest point where the bobbing and waving around is most intense. So give me a con save, see if you get a little seasick up there.
This is so funny. Okay. 15.
15. Yeah, you're fine. Don't even notice. Yeah, sleep up there just fine. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Does anybody... So as everybody goes to bed, is there anybody who's, like, out at night? Doing anything out at night?
I think because, like I said, he's paranoid. Tormata's actually going to cast Arcane Eye and go scry on these 4 people.
Okay. Yeah, you go scry on these 4 people. They just kind of, like, stay in their hammocks and shovel food into their mouths. And, kind of lay around and kind of sleep. They're very sleepy, hungry people, is what your Arcane Eye is able to determine.
Lord.
Yeah.
In the evenings, I know Yvaine would spend, an hour, like with full starlight, if there's no stars in the sky, or if there's stars in the sky, working on her maps.
I was gonna say, if Kira's back on a ship again after months of not being on one, she's probably just sitting outside, just off to the side by herself, just relaxing.
All right. Got Kiro in the crow's nest. You're out during the night, Kira?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Jorlin Vor's getting his beauty sleep for sure. Shirku's gone to sleep. He's out on the deck all day. I think the only person of the officers who are out right now is the couple of sailors, definitely crow's nest individuals on the main mast. It's too hard to see at night anyway, but they'll be out there regardless. So only like a handful of people. Okay. What are you doing on the deck, Kira?
She's probably just sitting off to the side, like if it's past dinner time and they've had dinner. If there was anything to drink, which they're pirates, or excuse me, they are seafaring people. I'm sure there was something to drink at dinner. Then she's probably
Yes.
drinking the rest of that and just like leaned up against the side of the ship, relaxing.
Magnificent. Okay. With that, just relaxing, chilling, taking in the cool evening air. Do a little adjustment. Pump that exposure. Okay. Let's have some fun. You, Kiro, as you're hanging out, looking at the sea, you see a cool sight. You see like a very cool sight. You see a couple of sharks. Some of those like kind of fins. And you're like, oh, it's awesome. Couple of sharks down there. That's nice. And I think I'm gonna see something else too. I'm gonna need a charisma save.
Oh no. Oh. It is a 12.
Yvaine, you're going to see a little like nothing that draws your concern, but you see like just like a little flash of light across on the foredeck, and you're like, oh, what was that? Make me a perception check.
Okay, well, I make perception checks at advantage. That's an 18 on the dice. I'm gonna crit fish just because that was not the crit that I was looking for. So we're gonna stick with the 18. 28.
You see some creatures that you've seen before. You see standing up on the high deck is a Sauhagin, and down in what looked to be like all kinds of clamshells with like a large staff, and is like being kind of stealthy about it. And also being stealthy about it are the 6 most beefy, mean-looking Sauhagin warriors bearing spears, kind of stealthily making their way down from the poop deck onto the foredeck, where the first mate seems unawares and is about to walk into them.
Yvaine is going to yell loudly. Sauhagin, 6 warriors. 2 is something else. All hands. I'm gonna pull her fucking star map out.
You yell Sauhagin as loud as you can, and let's roll initiative. As I'll say, that'll be enough to awaken everybody. Kira will have you roll as well, but you are currently under the effects of the banishment spell.
How fast is this ship moving?
Oh, interesting question. Let me go find out.
I'm using my boots.
I don't know what that means, but sure, yeah.
My boots of vigilance. I just want to make sure you know I'm using them.
The what?
The boots of
what?
vigilance that you got me.
Oh, boots of vigilance. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's see here. This ship moves 120. Moves 5 miles per hour. So that would be what do you? Maybe if you tell me what you want to do, maybe I can help you figure it out.
Whether or not a fly spell will keep up with it.
It would keep up. Yes, it would definitely keep up.
Well, the big question is, am I still awake, or do I need to wake up?
Well, Yvaine's screaming on the deck will alert somebody who is in the your cabin, who will alert you. So yeah, I'm going to assume everybody's awake at this time. And you were also said you were spying anyway, so you get a someone nudges you on the shoulder, and you come back to your sights and see all hell's breaking loose.
It's people watching.
That's right.
How big is our little window here? And does it open?
It definitely doesn't open.
Oh,
and it's I don't know, 3 by 5 feet, we'll say, each. I don't know. But it looks out to the sea.
All right, I can see out. All right, that works.
Let me see here.
So Kira's no longer on. Sorry, Kira's no longer on the ship.
Kira's under the influence of the banishment spell. Not that you know that.
Right. So to Yvaine's thinking, if she were to look around, Kira just wouldn't be there.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So 5 miles an hour is minutes 10. So that would be 50 feet. That would be 50 feet around. So yes, the fly spell would definitely keep up. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to drop some minis, and then I got to roll some initiatives. I'm going to just say that you guys come bursting out, and we'll start the initiative outside. Just to avoid traffic jam, because that's always a pain in the ass.
Well, I got to ask the magical question. Can I cast a spell on my way up?
No, you cannot. Unfortunately. Once initiative's been rolled, we are in initiative, unfortunately.
Had to ask.
Fair enough. Oh, Drysrinn, you're not there. What am I doing? Ember goes in another world. Tormata. So really it's Tormata and Ember who come bursting out, and Beverly behind. Shirku, silly bastard, where did you go? You're pretty important these days. You can be unique. Come out of his room. And now let me place some Sauhagin. That'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Oops. I gotta go put you up back on your crow's nest, Drysrinn. You can get to it. Alright, am I missing anybody? Oh yeah, I need you. No, not you. There we go. Okay. Sorry, taking a moment. Got a lot of things to do here. Excellent. And that will do. Okay, we've got a green. We've got and that'll be that. There's 10, could be better. This rolls very well. 19. Oof, they roll terribly. Okay, initiative's up. Who rolled a 20 plus?
22.
20.
Also a 20.
Would like to go first between my 20s.
Drysrinn, she's got better decks.
Fair enough.
But by a lot.
Who has a 15 plus?
17.
Very nice. Oh, I forgot about Bev. Oof, Bev. Fucking good. Hero, what'd you get?
12.
All right, we found some battle music and we can get to work. You're starting us off. Ember Van Zyl, speedy man that you are, what would you like to do?
As I come up on deck, or well, make my way to deck, I guess is
Yep.
the order of priority.
Okay, you want to just make your way to better visual range?
Yep.
So 15 is here. The being alerted is going to sound off, and you're going to kind of like hear the steps and everything up above. So you get the sense the action is going to happen up there. You want to climb the stairs?
Nope.
Nope.
Instant that I've got open air above me, bonus action, I'm going to give myself flight and kind of rise on the crispy flames and go 15 feet straight up.
Oh, you pissed him off. All right, now what?
The shmoo who's up on top all on his own. That looks like a good target.
Fair enough. Go for it.
And
Don't worry about the sail.
they can have I think a little scorching ray action sounds like a good way through.
All right, they got the railing between you and them, so I am going to give them half cover.
The one right in the middle of the gap on the railing?
Oh, you want this one? My apologies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, straight roll. You're good. You're totally good.
Let's see. That'll be a 28 to hit with the first ray. I'm assuming that that's probably sufficient to the task.
I would say so.
I'm assuming the 26 is sufficient to the task.
I would also say so.
22 is probably sufficient to the task. And ray number 4 is another 28. So
yeah, you get them. All right, give me some damage.
8.
8.
And 7.
7
is 15. And 7 is 22. And 12 is 34. And you probably ought to not make the bound angry. So I gotta look and see if that features everything with it to hit roll or if it's just once per turn. Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Quick, like a
problem.
bunny. Should have been better prepared.
No worries.
He's wrath. When you hit with an attack roll, once each turn when you hit with an attack roll. So 34 and 4 for 38 points of damage. Blap.
38. Wow. Just like fucking like tropic thunder, just getting hit by these massive balls of flame that come. Put your hand out, and just like small meteorites just blast into them from every direction. These are not the Sauhagin that you fought at the beginning of your adventure. These are stern, powerful warriors of the Osmit Sea, and he holds firm against your attacks. This is probably a champion of his race. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
All right. Anything else?
That's bonus action, move. Now we're good.
Alrighty, that'll bring us to Drysrinn. Drysrinn, you are up above. We'll see that you sort of shot up from your sleep and kind of looked over to see the action going on. What do you intend to do?
How far down is it?
Pretty far. If you were to jump off in a straight descent
Yes.
down to the ground below, that'd be 30 feet.
Oh, great. Okay. That's fine. Because I'm going to bonus action and pull my wings out. And I'm going to just, while activating my elemental attunement. So now I have a 10 feet reach and got lightning going on. Is there a way, because you said there's like two of them in kind of like a line position, or hold on. Actually, let me look at this. Are they all within a 15-foot cone of each other?
Are they all within a 15-foot cone of each other?
Yes.
Okay, let's... not all of them. There's one over here by Shirku. I
I'll
don't...
take all but one.
Let's see. Let me find out here. It'll require some positioning on my port. 56 degrees. It's possible. Let me play with it a little bit here. Okay, you want to get these guys, which means you need to get these guys. I don't think you're getting all of them. I bet you could get... You have to be right next to the guy up top, but you could probably get 3 of them.
Okay. That's fine.
You'd probably have to be standing in a space. You could get 2 of them. I'm sorry to say. They're just a little bit too far positioned.
It's okay. It's all right. So, as the first part of my 2 attacks, I'm going to use my breath weapon. But we're going to throw a channel divinity up on that, so it's just max damage, but it is a DC 13 Dex saving throw from them.
From all of them?
From the ones that were in the cone, the 2.
Bubble? 2. So would you like the 2 on the upper deck or the lower deck? Your choice.
Upper.
All right. You want to be at the end of your range to get them with? So you want to be like 15 feet in the air as you blast them from above?
10 feet.
You want to be only 10
Because
feet.
then I still have reach. Because I
Fair
do
enough.
want to attack one of them after this.
Got it. Well, the good news is that they're kind of tall. So if you're 15 feet up in the air, they're like 8 feet tall, right? So you can still get them from above.
Perfect then. Yes,
Beautiful.
yes.
So you swoop down. There is a fun function that I found out about, and that is you can allow, if you're a flying creature, you could just let yourself fall, and that be counted as a fall. And then as a reaction, you can use half of your fly speed to catch yourself.
Cute.
So if you wanted to just like step off from the railing,
Yeah, we'll activate the lightning and just like free fall back, and then
hell yeah. So
line up this.
yeah, rather than spending 30 feet, you only spend, what's your flying speed?
45, it's the same as my walking.
So you'll spend 20 feet. So as you fly down, you like open up your wings and sort of catch your fall and then blast lightning down on them. Hell yeah, go for it.
It's a DC 13 dex saving throw from those two. And then there was a third one somewhere.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3. So I'll give these guys the deck save up here on the top deck like you wanted.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going to make a regular unarmed attack against that third one.
So that's 11 and 5. So I believe they both fail. Go ahead and make your breath weapon.
Well, that I'd use the channel divinity because it is lightning damage. They take a max 24.
Woo! We love Storm Cleric or Tempest Cleric, whatever.
Or wait,
24.
no, hold on. No. That's a different spell. This is just 2d10. I think it's just 20.
Oh, okay. So you use your breath weapon as a dragon to do 20 points of damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say before? 24?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet. You blast down upon them. This one is very, very hurt. Go ahead and take your second strike.
Oh, this isn't gonna. Oh, that's a 13.
Teen unfortunately doesn't hit. He wheels around and kind of blocks you with this hard seashell armor.
Yep. And then I am going to spend another key point for something I have never once done into patient defense.
Caution. All right, we'll give it a try.
Oh, wait, never mind. It has to be as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, yeah, you spent bonus action. Okay, so that's you, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. Yvaine, you're up to bat. You're looking at the stars over here on the foredeck.
Yeah,
What
I
would you
just
like to
need to sort of. So there's no one actually around me.
No, I assumed you'd be on the.
Yeah, no, that's correct. I'm trying to see how much distance would I need to travel to get to someone I could hit. I'm quite a bit out of position, yeah.
Yeah, you're quite a bit over. I will tell you the distance to the nearest fellow. Somewhere in the range of like 65 feet, somewhere like that. 65 plus. You could do like a sick railing jump down onto the foredeck if you wanted. It would only be a DC, I'd call it a DC 10, athletics or acrobatics. And start running over. Yeah.
You know, just because I'm feeling froggy at this particular moment, and I might not always, but I am right now. So I think what I'm going to do is yeah, because I'm feeling it. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Moonbeam. Yeah. And let's go ahead and cast it at 3rd level. Why not?
All
So
right.
that is an action.
You want to hit these two guys?
It's 120 feet, so I just need to be able to see them.
All right, like so?
Yeah. Cool.
A beam of silver fires down on the deck. Hell yeah.
And then
all right.
I'm going to turn into an owl.
An owl?
I'm going to wild shape into an owl.
All right, so I'll get you an owl. Owls are great. I love them.
And not like a fence, like just a common fucking small owl, because I'm about to go 120 feet away up in the air. I just fry them until I need to come down and heal.
Like you're literally going just straight up 120 feet, like so?
I don't need to go up 120 feet. Like I don't mind being in the crow's nest. I just need to be able to see them and have cover.
Well, there are masts in the way, so why don't we put you? Why don't we put you like 70 feet over the main mast, and you can kind of look down and see them there. Okay, cool, beautiful. Awesome. That's gonna bring us to Beverly, who's got out her spear and shield, and sure, fuck it. She's going to cast teleport, and she's
Sorry,
gonna
I should
just.
have happened.
That's all good. She just boop, is gonna appear on the top deck and be like, look around, turn around, see the. She'll go and as a bonus action, she can't do shit because she ain't no proper paladin right now. But she kind of just forms up with her spear and shield. That's gonna bring us to, but that's she's fine doing that because she's just tanking. It's gonna bring us to our warriors here. So this one is going to do some attacks. What are we gonna do here? Yeah, he's gonna take his spear and he's gonna do.
Do you mean the
Yeah,
ones
I
in the
know.
moonlight? Okay, sorry.
We're gonna get to you. This one's gonna strike at Shirku and Beverly, and we're gonna see how that goes, and then we'll continue. Advantage on the item, just and how else it's. Nobody's lost their hit points yet, so let's try. Beverly. Oh, he's swinging a miss with against Beverly, pretty intensely so. The other one is definitely going to hit Shirku for 21 to hit. He is going to take. So take 7 points of damage. As he does so, the Sauhagin's eyes go from slits to like full circles as blood is drawn, and it kind of, in like in a frenzy, is just gonna like keep attacking Shirku. We'll have advantage on this next attack because blood is in the air. That is definitely going to hit Shirku for a whopping 4 piercing damage. I do not believe our wonderful. Yeah, he couldn't have blocked any of those, and he has no reactions to speak of. Okay, now we'll do our Moonlight Fellows. Con saves, yes?
Yes, con 19, and
Two
one of
failures.
them take a d6 off.
Take a d6 off? What does that mean?
Yeah, for my my portent.
Your portent?
Not portent. My omen. Remember,
Oh, sure,
I can.
sure. Yeah. Sure. They failed. Yeah, absolutely. What's the damage? They definitely failed. Yeah.
Huzzah! That is what we were going for. Let's make sure this is on the 3rd level, which is what I was asking. And boop. 22.
Jeez, all right, 22 radiant damage. Okay. This one's gonna run at Fireball Boy. That run right up to you. This one's gonna run over to Shirku because blood's been drawn and they smell the blood. This one's gonna do the same thing and go after Shirku because blood's been drawn. And let's get to Spearin. Okay, these are for you, Ember. That is going to be a 13, which misses, I'm sure. The next one is going to be an 11, which misses, I'm sure.
Also correct.
And the last one is a 21.
That'll hit.
That'll hit, and you're going to take a whopping 6 points of spear damage. 6 points. Okay, these are all for Shirku because blood's been drawn and they have advantage, so they'll take it. That will be a hit for a 19. Those will miss with advantage. Those will miss with advantage. Natural 20. That one will hit with advantage. And last but not least, That will hit with advantage. They're either... Ooh, so that's 2 misses and a nat 20. Okay, let's see here. So 7, 10... It's going to be 18 damage on the crit. It's going to be 6 plus... It's going to be 9 damage. That's going to be 5 damage. And that's going to be 7 damage. Alright, they're coming up to Shirku and just like in a mad, like, spear, just like trying to kill Shirku. It's all like a mad frenzy as they attack him. Tormata Bota, you're up to bat, my friend.
Unlike everybody else, he's just gonna like stroll out. Like, what is a shirt? What? He's gonna move his full 30 feet. I'm gonna
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I can actually like turn around and see.
Okay, turn around and see, and you've got, I'd say, visual range on the one that's attacking Ember, but it's a very, very difficult shot.
I'm not worried about that. But I will quicken Framer of the Winds and rise up 60 feet. But I want to go the direction you're facing right now. I want to go to the holy crap, left and up out over the water. 60 feet, please.
60 feet. So let me ask you about that. The winds, does it just give you an additional 60 feet to your speed?
Says 60, but I'm going to assume that I've already used 30 of it by walking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
So you
gains
go
a flying
30 feet
speed
to
of
the side?
60 feet. So I'm assuming because I've already moved 30.
Yeah. Got it. So
I just
you want to
be,
like do something like this?
Yeah, out up over the water so I can actually see and I don't have to worry about rigging and all that.
Okay. Yeah, there's... Rigging's going to be a little hard to avoid with 30 feet, I'm sorry to say, but you certainly can see everything going on.
All right. The one that's up on the... There's only one remaining up on the back deck?
Yeah, that's the one with the staff who looks like some kind of shaman.
All right. We'll see how this goes. We'll try Sorcerer's Burst at it.
All right.
We're going to make it... Now, I'm going under the assumption that he has no idea what these things are, but they're in water, which means that they probably have some sort of cold resistance, quite possibly acid. So he's going to pop them with Psychic, see how that works.
Fair enough. All right. Do you need something from me?
No, I just got an attack roll. 28. 27 to hit.
27. Despite the half cover I give to the railing, that more than hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Spell Sniper, I ignure half and quarter and 3/4 cover.
Yeah, then forget that.
I meant to tell you that.
No worries. You for sure hit Priest with a 27, regardless.
It's only going to be 8 Psychic, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I don't know why I'm rolling it. Oh, I know why I'm rolling the dice. Not necessarily expecting to have gotten hit in this moment, maybe a little distracted from the initial lightning. They lose focus. And Kiro, no, you're like, I'm back. Ah, my skin! And you are standing in a moonbeam getting burned by it. All right, is there anything else, Tormata?
No, that's it. Action, bonus action, movement.
Okay.
Question: if you put me down 5 feet, would I avoid the rigging as the boat continues? Or no, I'm behind it. Never mind. I'm dumb. I got it.
No,
I was thinking I was ahead of it for some reason.
It's all good. There's a lot of ropes going on here. Kiro, make me a con save as you stand inside of the moonbeam. These things happen.
$17.
17. Yvaine, are you with us? Here, I'll go look. You said third level. 17 is a failure. She's a very good...
19?
Yeah, that's her DC's quite high. I'll just roll it while she's not here to move things along a little bit. That's going to be 17 points of radiant damage. You're like, I'm alive! Ah! Yeah! As the moon starts fucking burning you. Is there anything? Okay. What would you like to do with your turn?
Me, hero?
Yeah, you, Kira. It's your turn.
Oh, wait. Oh, Lord. I thought I came so much later in the order. I know you said that Yvaine was 65 feet from anybody. Am I close to anybody right now?
You are easily within your ability to get into melee range of any one of these bad guys.
Fantastic. I am gonna pick the closest one to me and start swinging, because that wasn't fun.
All right, this guy's like stabbing at Ember over the boat, and you just kind of anime appear behind him, and he's like, "Dummy." Go ahead
Excuse
and
you.
attack.
Lovely. I get
You'll have a
2.
flank on him, so advantage.
Yes. I love when a good plan comes together.
I meant to do this.
The first one is a 14.
14. Let's see if that hits. That does not hit. I'm sorry to say. How dare he?
They're so rude. That's okay though, because the second one's a 19 and I crit on a 19. So there. Ha.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh gosh. It's 1d8, so it's automatically 8 plus 2 plus my modifier, which is 4. I have to roll another d8 if I can remember what those are.
Yeah, you take max possible roll on top of the normal damage.
Wait, so 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 5 is 17, but I think I get to re-roll. Oh, I get to re-roll it, and the second time it was a 7, so that's plus 2. 8 plus 4 is 12, 7 plus 12 is 19. 19? 19 points of damage.
19. So he's stabbed. He's got his spear in your gut, Ember, and you're like, you bastard. And then he suddenly has a spear sort of come out, or a trident, I suppose, come poking out from under his rib cage. And you see a slightly moonbeam burnt Kuro behind your enemy, saving your helping out. Yeah, no worries. Fantastic. Kuro, you got another attack for me, or you?
Oh wait, that was just one swing, wasn't it? No, wait, no, I
Sure
thought that
was.
was 2. Because the first swing missed.
That's right.
That's
and
what
you
it
crit on the
was.
second. Got it. Do you have a bonus action then?
You know what? I might as well do it. I am going to healing light myself, because people. Why does the moon hurt so much?
But luckily enough, a little fragment of that moon beam coming down from Yvaine kind of almost like something sort of siphons a bit of its power from it and changes it from a destructive radiant power into a healing light as the moonlit wolf heals you.
Thanks, I guess. That hurt.
Sorry.
Thanks, Daddy Goldrick.
Sorry. Really sorry.
No, you're fine. You hit them. I just was not expecting to be hit. I learned
In
an
fairness,
unexpected.
I didn't know that's where she was.
No, you didn't. In fairness, Kiro, your perspective, because you're incapacitated when you're banished, your perspective would have been like, "Oh, what a beautiful night! Yeah, what's going on? I'll get everywhere!" Just suddenly, like the movie skipped, and now you're like a couple of minutes into a battle, and you're like,
What
okay.
happened? Why?
Is
I
there
just
anything
wanted
else
to
you'd like
enjoy
do?
my evening. No. So the guy that I just hit, he's not dead yet, huh?
No, he sure isn't. He looks still quite strong.
Then I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, he's bloodied, actually. He is bloodied. Bloodied him.
Oh, good. Then I'm not going anywhere. Then that ends my turn.
Okay. Excellent. Here comes the dumbest feature in all of Matt Mercer's works of all time. Shuku Marine says, "Do you know who I am? I'm Shirku Marine, you motherfuckers." And he is going to use Marine Layer! The stupidest thing to have come out of the Tal'Dorei book. There's suddenly going to be this massive fog, which that emanates from him, and he is going to step over here. He's going to say, "Follow me, young Beverly," and he's going to step over to here, and he'll step actually over to here, so Ember and Kira are within 5 feet of him, which means you two treat the mist as light obscurity as opposed to full heavy obscurity. So you guys can, anyone within 5 feet of him can see within the mist, but anybody else is like fucking blind. That cost him his full action, but I wanted to tip my hat to Matt, so here we are. Let's see.
I mean, it got him out of that pickle, so it's not that stupid.
It's not that bad. No, it's not that bad. Did you? Should have 5 for you. Instead, treat the. Oh, this truly is the stupidest feature of all time, because any creature within 5 feet of him treats us. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm sorry. I wanted to tip my hat to Matt's homebrew character, and I love Matt Mercer, but this is the stupidest feature. He isn't going to do that. He instead is going to use Fury of the Tides, a much better channel divinity. As a bonus action, he sort of pulls out his silver blade over the deck of the ship, and water shoots straight up and sort of wraps around his blade, kind of coating it in this like razor sharp, thin hydro layer. And he is going to get a little extra power. He is going to swing his blade. He's going to step over to here and swing his blade at this guy. See how that goes. And it goes quite well for him. That is going to be... That's going to be a D6 because it's a scimitar, so it's going to be... so it's going to be 7 points of damage. He will smite, because that is good fun. Just a wee one. Just a wee one. 7 additional damage. And the water on his blade is going to sort of blast into that Sauhagin. And he is going to take an additional 4 bludgeoning damage. He is going to take another 4 bludgeoning damage as he hits the rail. He's going to go flying off the side of the ship as the water just blasts him off the ship. Look out, Blue! It's going to go right here. Into the water. And then he's going to take a second attack. On who looks most hurt? This guy looks most hurt. Turn around with his blade. Do another swing-a-lang. It's going to be not enough. It's... Oh, he might have an advantage because of Fury of the Tides. What's basic? Just weapon attack. Nope. And he hits the spear, and he's kind of like blade locked with the creature at him. And that'll be his turn. He says, "You're in great trouble, my friend." There is going to be actions from the crew. While I'm pulling up the first mate's stat block here, there's a little special somebody's going to join the combat. While you guys are all running, you're going to see, right next to you, Ember, this winged white cat. It's just going to land right here and go. And in your head, Ember, you're going to hear, "If you don't mind, I would like to take care of this rapscallion."
By all means. Help yourself.
The cat looks over at the Sauhagin and goes, and the Sauhagin's going to lift into the air smash on the deck once, smash on the deck twice, and then be thrown off the side of the ship by some invisible force. And then you hear the cat sort of purr. And that'll be its turn.
Taken, not stirred. Got it.
All right, let's see here. Next, we got first mate. Comes in. Pistol and rapier ready. Is going to run forth. It's going to try and help out her captain. She's going to run over here. She's going to move through your space clearer and say, "Excuse me, dear." Get over to here. And is... well, for fun, she's going to run in and shoot her pistol at the guy, because that's just good fun on the run. That's going to be... definitely a hit for 19. And since guns do a lot of damage... Oh, wait, this is... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is Tal'Dorei. We don't have guns outside of Whitestone if we're doing our job right. So, never mind. She does not use her pistol. She uses a hand crossbow, which will be... sorry, I forgot about the setting I was in a second, because I wanted to be a cool pirate. 9 points of damage. She'll come around the back, and she is going to use her rapier twice. Let's see. Advantage on the next roll it makes before the end of its turn. That'll hit. And that'll hit. 4, 6, 4, 10, 18 damage. Four is 9 is another 16 points of damage. And she's going to look up at the leader, this high priestess, and she's going to simply wink. And the Sauhagin's going like, be a little charmed. And this one is charmed by the first mate. For whatever reason. That is going to bring us, that's going to be the fighting crew, which will bring us indeed to the High Priestess. I think it did these backwards, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. She is going to... What's she going to do? What's she going to do? We got 2 of these guys left, huh? And they're pretty fucking beat up. Well, they're really getting their asses killed over here. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3. 3 individuals. So, okay, let's see the initiative order. I need Ember, Drysrinn, and Beverly to roll wisdom saving throws as she twiddles her fingers and casts Bold Person.
Did I hear you right? When who was charmed? I thought you said the priestess was charmed.
She is charmed. She's charmed against this lady here, so she can't harm her. Doesn't say anything about harming the rest of you.
Just want to make sure I heard you right. That's all.
Yep, no problem. Okay, wisdom saves. Ember, what'd you get?
24.
Yeah, you succeed, no problem. Drysrinn.
22.
Yeah, you succeed, no problem. And Beverly succeeds. Hold person never works. I want everyone to remember that. If you ever are considering taking it, don't, because it never works. But I have to try, because I'm the DM. So the spell entirely fails, because that's how that works. And we'll move on. This one's gonna fucking run. And it's gonna jump off the ship and decide that I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, that's gonna bring us to you, Ember. What do you do?
I'm going to move and light myself next to Charcrew.
All right, and so you do, like right there,
I was thinking in the spot on the other side of him,
like that, or over here.
all the way right there. You got it.
Okay, beautiful.
Bonus action. I should have a scimitar made out of fire. Oh, I have one of those.
Hell yeah.
And allow me to make a vociferous argument. How about AC 21?
AC 21. I don't think that they're beating that. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. And that's 14, and 4 is 18 points of fire.
14 and 4. Okay. That's very nice. Preference? Which one takes it?
It's the one that Charcrew's not in front of.
Got it. Okay. I believe you slay yourself, Sauhagin, my friend. You whoosh, slash him across the chest, and he falls to the ground and kind of writhes around, but this fish has been gutted.
Awesome.
Good work. Good. Magnificent. Anything else, Ember?
That's bonus action, move.
All right, Drysrinn. There's only one left who's going like, and is looking a little surrounded and a little bloody. What would you like to do? I did pull back all my flying people because the ship would have moved on Shirku's turn. So you are back here, right?
That's fine. It seems excessive at this point. But you know what? No. How to honor that Mercer? How hurt is Shirku?
Shirku Marine. You can't really tell. He's a little far away.
Is he?
But
How
he's
much
bloody.
would 45 feet get me? Like, can I get to him?
45 feet would get you to about. It's fine. To about here, in which you could look down and see that he is bloodied. He's very bloodied. In fact.
Is he 60 feet away?
He is not. He is less than that.
Oh, amazing. That's great. That's great. We are just we're gonna do a second level healing word as a bonus
Beautiful.
action. First time Drysrinn's done this for literally anybody, but he's somebody running the ship. She's gonna be like, I know you wear symbols of anyone and everyone, but maybe it's time to put on the Stormlords.
If that is your healing word, he says, he kind of just does a little flipperoo, and he goes, I'm glad to have been your first.
So 44 plus 2. We'll just roll that on here, because why not? 12. Back
12
to
healing.
him.
Oh, not add 12 damage, subtract 12 damage. Your bullets have killed me and struck me dead. No, he definitely like slips. He definitely slips like the all hammer beneath his shirt and kind of flips through and pulls out the Stormlord.
She's gonna change from lightning to fire and pull up with 2 attacks.
All right. God, you want to roll up some more. So you're here at 45 feet. They're 20 feet away. What's the plan?
I'll spend 2 focus points and just bomb them then.
Sure.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Elemental burst.
All right.
We're doing that again.
Fantastic. Make an attack roll. Or if that's this is like the bomb, right?
Yes, this is my from 120 feet away as a magic action.
Okay. I just want to
Then-
quickly remind you that you're on a wood ship with rope before you set off a giant bomb. Just so you know.
I can choose different.
Can you? Can you choose your targets?
No, but I can choose a different kind of damage.
You can choose a damage that wouldn't damage the ship. Yes. So
Yes.
is there a preference? Which damage type would you like?
Which one's less likely to hurt? Acid, fire, lightning, or cold, or what? I
Probably
don't.
cold. Cold
Probably
would.
cold. But I'm scared.
I assume you don't have
okay.
psychic, but cold is probably less likely to destroy the ship than
Where
fire or lightning.
It's in one of the description. Here it is. Thunder would also not be nice, would it?
Thunder would not be great for
No,
wood.
okay.
No.
Cold it is.
Okay, so okay.
Cold it
How
is.
cold it is? You set off a cold bomb. Can you not target your friends with it?
I don't know. Because I guess not. It's each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere.
Okay, so
Is there a way to? Is the last one within 20 feet of people? Can I angle that somehow if I'm still flying?
I don't think you can. I'm sorry to say.
Ugh!
You can just decide to like hit the first mate and hero only, and that's it. You could do like that.
I feel like those people would be the most dexterous.
Okay, let's do it. Hell yeah, proper. Who would have thought the monk is the proper fireball? Hero, Drysrinn like summons like a liquid nitrogen concentrated ball of like key energy into their hands and is like about to Kamehameha and gives you like a wink like you got this, and you're like, but I don't. And all right, let's roll a dex save.
Is
It's
this
a
a spell
DC
that-
14.
Is this a spell you're casting?
It's
Hang on. I don't think you know, Tormata. You see her gesture with her hands. That's a component of spells usually.
Yeah, I'm gonna counterspell that.
All right, doesn't go off. Nothing. I mean,
I
counterspell doesn't. Just mark off the counterspell.
yeah.
Nothing happens, and it seems that this magic is beyond your counterspell, and it goes off.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't get hit. I don't care. I was just trying to save everybody else.
Okay. I will roll for our
Mhm.
first mate, and Kiro, give me a dex save. It's gonna be 7, 14. That's a 16. Does a 16 save?
Yeah. It takes
What did
half
you say
damage,
it
though.
was?
Dex.
14.
14.
I got 14 with my modifier. You better be lucky I like you. You better be lucky I like you, or I'm tossing you over the side of the ship.
It's half damage.
They'll
We
take
will
half
all
damage.
find out just how flexible her morals are.
Has
Ship is
Kiro
not that
taken any
big.
damage that wasn't friendly fire in this fight?
No!
No.
I got
They
stabbed.
all succeed. You did get stabbed. That's true. And Shirku is like drenched in blood. Okay,
Hero
everyone
spent her
succeeds.
time lifting anchors, not running laps. It's a ship. There are very few places to go.
All right, roll me some damage.
Mm-hmm. It's altogether 13, so have that for everybody.
Round it down.
Of cold.
13. So
Yeah.
it's 13 damage. So that would be halved to
6?
12, 6. That's 6 points of damage to. Yeah,
Most redundant.
that's not bad. How would you like to kill the last Sauhagin?
She's like, well, she can't catch up, and that's a problem because she kind of needs to be in melee, so she goes for the only thing she knows that would Actually, it's not. She could have done so many different spells, but chose this instead because she was thinking more like a monk than like a cleric, and that's a mindset she's got to work on. But she's just gonna summon all of the cold energy, hoping and praying that it'll maybe just make them freeze and be like, okay, this is excessive, and I know it is, and I'm so sorry to everybody, but I'm just gonna explode it. And it's gone,
Yeah,
and we don't have to worry.
Locked. They're all locked. You guys are all locked in melee battle. The Sauhagin. You're Drysrinn saying something like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "The thing is, I would like to." And you're like, "What is going on up there?" And you all look up to see Kiro and the first mate are like, "Oh, fool! I managed to get out of the way to some degree." Like the first mate's entire sleeve is frozen, and like Pinky is like sheathed in ice. Kiro, you're a water genasi, so you're probably feeling this extra hard. You're like, your skin is like, it feels like it's solid, and the Sauhagin's like just frozen solid from the waist up, and the half of the canvas of the back sail is frozen. The cat is like leaning down on the ship and has like a shard of ice going over its head. It's like looking up at it. And the day's been saved. Shirku goes, "Huzzah! We've done it again!"
Yvaine's gonna take a couple laps as an owl just make sure that there's no more mean, nasty fish people.
Yeah, so doing some laps. You're like doing some laps.
Come back down and heal everyone who needs healing.
You do a hard bank to return, and you see this like white cat flying at you hungrily at the owl. And you hear in your brain, "You're mine, dinner." You feel your body go. Yeah, your body constricts, and the cat just goes, "Mom, how do you can speak? Oh, you must be that good fellow," and then releases you, and you fly back. And yeah, you can sail down to heal somebody. Shirku's got holes in his body. The first mate's looking a little. Actually, surprisingly, the first mate and Shirku, despite them being pretty wounded, are in like very high spirits. They're like high five and everything. He's like, "Another great adventure." Here's to the Storm Lord and its icy winds. Yeah, and with that, that's the combat, folks.
When I catch up, can I cure wounds? Kiro?
Yeah, and we can say that you guys come down and spend spell slots, but this will be the final event of the night, and you will all get a long rest thereafter. So, we don't need to worry about the nitty gritty. But well done. Sure, other officers come up, other sailors come up, like, "Yarr, God, who is it?" And they're like, "No, it's over. Go back to bed." And they're like, "Ah." Shirku goes around. He says, "Good fight, good fight. Yes, well, you almost bombed the shit out of me." To you, Drysrinn. But they all seem to be in very like ridiculously high spirits, despite like friendly fire and Shirku almost like eating it. They seem to really enjoy the adventure. Cool. With that, you're sent off to bed. Is there anything other than the healing? Anybody want to do anything before bed?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. So, before we go to break, and before you all wake up, something's gonna happen. To you, Yvaine. Perfect. Where are you, silly owl? There you are. You sleep. You dream. You have a most strange dream.
Okay.
I want to make sure the sound suppression is fitting what I'm about to do here. You hear crash of thunder and lightning. You see the rain. Much like any dream, you're just kind of in the middle of it, and it's not even you. You're not even sure if you're there, if you're just an observer. You're not really sure, but the light briefly illuminates a massive Colosseum-like structure. With each crash of lightning, your visual becomes more and more apparent. You're looking down at the gods brawl of them. You're in the gods brawl arena, right at the center, and there is no crowd. There is only the roar of thunder, the crack of lightning, and the water itself raining down as Accord himself bears witness to the gods brawl arena. Standing in the center, with a massive, magical, beautiful maul before him, sort of in the sand, you see the Earthbreaker standing in the center of the arena by himself. Just want to get out his visual for the sake of all. You see Earthbreaker Thorvin Thunderfist standing, hands in front of him, sort of like face feeling the rain pour across his eyes, lightning crashing across the sky, drenched in water. It's so fucking hot. And he's just like kind of looking up, feeling the rain, maybe trying to find something within the rain, maybe a vision perhaps, maybe a sign, maybe an omen. And the lightning, thunder crashes harder and harder still. This massive Goliath, muscle-scarred after decades of battles, maul resting heavy on the ground before him, has calm breath and eyes turn to the storm as the rain falls in sheets. The lightning crashes, and there's silence between the thunder. The next crash of lightning, it goes off, and you see the Earthbreaker sort of, like this is very strobe. When there's no thunder, when there's no lightning, you can't see anything. But he's looking up, lightning. You see sort of movement in the shadows behind the Earthbreaker. Lightning thunders. You see the Earthbreaker look down at his abdomen. And he has two surgically precision, large gashes in his abdomen. And he kind of touches it and looks at his hand, not really understanding. Another flash of lightning. There's a gash across his chest, and he's on a knee as he staggers downward. Darkness. There's another as he kind of like moves like that, as if he's been struck across the back. Just the basest flash of movement in the dark. You can't perceive what's moving back there, but something's attacking him. As it goes back to black between the strikes of lightning, you see the maul sort of illuminate with lightning, and his own eyes blast with lightning, and you can see through the darkness the Earthbreaker bring up his maul, and with absolute unfaltering strength, he roars and turns in a massive arc of lightning that swings around and hits the ground. Whatever this blur is, it threatens to crush this whatever attacker is like an insect. But they're too fast, gone, especially with the damage done to the Earthbreaker. Another gash across his strong shoulder. The shadow moving around him beneath his swings. He is slowing. But he fights strongly. This happens for a while. The Earthbreaker's breath grows ragged. Blood mingles with the rain across his body. He fights to rally to challenge the storm's fury through his weapon, summoning cracks and the wrath of his god. But each invocation of his maul, each roar of anger invokes another cut. across his body. He swings furiously, but for every blow he swings, there's another 2 or 3 slashes across his body, until he is, after about a minute, sort of kneeled on the ground, hand holding the hammer, trying to draw breath, and he must have 100, maybe 1,000 cuts across his body at this point. His strength is failing him, and his body is growing smaller piece by piece, chunk by chunk. The legendary strength of the Earthbreaker ebbs with each wound, and finally he collapses to one knee, the maul slipping from his fingers in front of him. He looks up, crash of lightning, and you finally see his attacker. Water pouring down, should be pouring down their form, but it doesn't, as if there's some ghost in the wind. You see red eyes, ebon skin, black leather wrapped around a graceful elven form, with 4 arms bearing silver demonic blades. And you see that Kato Geist standing over him. She brings a blade up. Crash of lightning that shows you this rise of blade. And then in the second crash of lightning, she is gone, and the Earthbreaker lays dead in the center of the arena, blood wetting the sand of the arena. It is empty, and there is only rain and thunder. And you wake up. And that is where we'll go to break. Fun. Okay. Yvaine, you're the last to wake. You wake up. Would have been a dream. Because we never play them out, the irrelevant dreams, but they do happen. In your world, you've seen enough horrible shit that I'm sure you guys have bad dreams from time to time, though this one was a very vivid one. You wake up, Yvaine, to see a very piratey looking Beverly these days. She says, good morning, Yvaine. You doing okay? Or you sounded like you were having a lot of trouble sleeping last night.
Yeah. And she's going to start her casting. And she's actually going to cast Dreamwalk first. And then she's going to get on to casting, like, I'm assuming this is like when reading. And then she's going to get on to casting water breathing. So for the next 22 minutes, she's just
casting rituals, spells, morning witch routine.
Doing her morning witch routine, and she as pale as the purple elf gets, like she probably looks a little shaken.
Okay.
I really need to get to Vasselheim at some point.
Okay.
The damage isn't the ship. I'm not great with mending things, but I have some spells that can repair wood in particular.
Sure. Kind of help out where you can. The ship took a little damage, but the bosuns are all over doing a little patchwork. But with the power of your magic, you can kind of like recede some of the like solid frozen ice. The 8 hours of night kind of would have melted a deal. In fact, most of it last night. There's a little damage to overcome. Got it. Man, I don't even know how to work with this. So you guys are going to go on with your time. And, oh, okay, I know what to do. Shirku will sort of show up and say, we'll be getting to the Visa Isles around the end of the day. I'll let you know. Actually, fun. Let's take a little look. He'll point off the port bow, and though you can't see the island, you can see like way off in the distance. He'll give you his spyglass for all of you to see yourselves, but you will see this like column of black smoke very thinly off in the distance. It says, "That's our destination, friends. That's our destination indeed. I don't know how much you know about the Visa Isles, but it is not a fun place. Not from what I hear. They say it is basically like a volcanic wasteland. Why you want to get there? I do not know. But that is not my job. My job is to get you there and to have fun along the way."
We should talk to the archaeologist and find out more about who we're expecting to meet, etc. He spoke of these people.
Oh, yes, he hasn't stopped yapping about it to the crew. I'm sure they would appreciate it if you'd redirected his attention towards yourselves, since it is, pissing people off. That I just don't totally understand,
Apologies.
man.
So sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
no apologies required. My men are good at three things: drinking, keeping the ship going in one direction, and, well, something else, I'm sure. Anyway, back to work for me. He'll meander off.
We should find the archaeologist and
Yeah, you see the half-orc boatswain is like up on it's probably like up on the rigging, like here, and the back sail's probably folded up, and she's got part of it down, instead of kind of like tailed off, and she's kind of like stowing in patched canvas and like looking kind of pissed off as Dorman Bosch stands on the deck and goes, "It's really, truly quite fascinating. You see, the entire island it's full of wild pigs, but really all the worst that needs to be worried about is fire beetles or mantises. But
actually, I would love to hear all about that since we're going to be the land troop. Would you mind telling us what we could be expecting?
Oh, most certainly. It was Yvaine. Yes, Yvaine. A pleasure to see you again. I'd be more than happy to. And if you kind of shuffle him away, you'll see the half-orc just kind of give you like a nod of appreciation. And you guys can drag him away. And he'll say, he'll just start babbling to all of you. He goes, "Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you again for bringing me on this expedition. Let me tell you a little bit about the Visa Isles. You know what you're getting yourself into. So, the Visa Isles are about 40 miles off the coast of Blade Shimmer shoreline, west of the Verdant Expanse, with two islands that belch out clouds of black smoke into the open sky almost year-round. Now, the Visa Isle and its smaller sister island have been surrounded by rumors and sailor legends since the dawn of civilization, and some say every night the island burns to ash. This is, of course, poppycock. Complete bullshit. It has a distinctive orange glow, and, well, it's reasonable to think that everybody would think that, but would you imagine trees growing to maturity every day in a 24-hour cycle? Just to even begin to grasp why that is impossible, to begin to explain that to the common man is ridiculous. Anyway, I digress. It is, however, an island of heat and flame, but not death. What little do people know is that the island is actually covered in dense jungle. Though most have only come back to claim that they have found wild pigs, or worse, large fire beetles or mantises, there are some secrets on these islands that only I know about. So, it's good that you have brought me. Allow me to tell you that I found, as I said, the ruins of the Volscaris Empire. The Volscaris was an empire of the Age of Arcanum of serpent folk who were slavers, and they were great warriors and assassins and so on and so forth. Very, very dangerous folk who hailed the cloaked serpent as their primary god. I happened to actually manage to find the elder halls of their ruins by communing with the spirits of their ancient serpentine ancestors. Very fascinating stuff. Now, we ventured into the ruins, and, well, as I told you, unfortunately, not much came of my reports as we found the Chroma Conclave when we got back, but uh, there's much to be found down there. Much, much, much to be brought back and put on display so that we might better understand the world of the Age of Arcanum. Yes, you there.
Let's walk it back to the point where you were communing with the spirits of the ancestors. Let's talk about that.
Yes, yes. Well, my proficiency is in spirit speaking. That is what I call it. I have a particular proficiency at communing with the dead. I'm sure rather disturbing to hear, but I assure you it is not necromancy. The arcane Panasophical has tried many times to investigate me, and they have turned up nothing. I happen to actually be licensed to do that. So fear not, but I do have powers such as speak to undead is a very, very helpful spell for an archaeologist, and other couple little things here and there that allow me to have some understanding of how to interact with the undead spirits of ethereal sort of beings.
Right. Great. What did they say?
Well, they are a rather agitated bunch, considering their empire is falling into ruins. Some of them, of course, tend to cling to their past memories of how they were before they died and believe that their empire is still, of course, a superpower of the world. This is not true. But unfortunately, I was able to persuade one of them to show me where their capital city was, which is how I found the ruins. They are a rather dangerous bunch, though. I wouldn't recommend pissing them off, as the sailors around here say. They are quite dangerous, and they tend to roam together, but are really vastly knowledgeable. They are from the Age of Arcanum themselves. Meticulously difficult to get anything of worth out of them. You can't exactly interview a ghost in a cohesive sort of conversation, as they are very turbulent spirits clung to past memories and don't truly understand where they are, what's happening.
I know, I understand.
But anyway, I traveled in to the Volscaris Empire ruins. Magnificent, magnificent, I say. Truly unfathomable, beautiful, very well preserved ruins. I ventured within and saw all of their ancient sites. They were very into blood ritual, may I say. Very, very into blood ritual. Sacrificing slaves on the altar of their god. I have some reason to believe that they had rituals that actually turned humanoids into more serpent folk, which is magnificent. It's amazing, really. They used certain incenses to give themselves visions of their gods. And I even, as I told you back on the dock, had found this magical stasis section of the ruins that had living serpent folk within. Now, it's unfortunate. A member of my expedition, unfortunately, did something that turned off the runes, and these serpent folk awakened. Most disturbing, but we managed to get away as they were quite groggy from presumably having been in magical stasis for hundreds and hundreds of years. But they did awaken, and we left because that's probably very dangerous.
So they've been in stasis since the Age of Arcanum.
I didn't have time to properly interview one of these living serpent folk, but by all accounts, speaking with the spirits, I would conjecture yes. They are Age of Arcanum spirits, or warriors, or depends person to person, of course, occupation and all.
Right.
Yes, most disturbing. But regardless, I am sure we will venture in. Your legends and stories of your heroics are well known, and if we run into any trouble, we can certainly deal with it. And if at all possible, I would love to have an interview with one of these serpents. Imagine if we could learn of the Age of Fun, of their empire, their society, their culture, their rituals. It's a treasure trove of archaeological finds.
I'm not familiar with the cloaked serpent.
Oh, well, I am. I can tell you all about it if you wish. well, of course, after I came back, I figured it would be prudent to do a little extra investigating if I ever return to the shores one days. So yes, let me tell you the cloak serpent. Very nasty betrayer god, very nasty indeed. The cloaked serpent is it's a wanderer in the shadows and a creator of snakes and serpent kin. As the story goes, they are a god of poisons, assassins, and darkness. They were worshipped all over. They were worshipped all over, and yes, dragged servants and slaves to their temples, kicking and screaming as offerings to the honor of the cloaked serpent. Of course, most of his worshippers were annihilated during the calamity, and there hasn't really been much worship to note of the cloaked serpent since then. It was largely thought that, similar to Ion's worship, that their worshippers had died out, that the cloaked serpent was a sort of lost god a little bit. But it seems that a couple of worshippers had still remained in stasis. How exciting! Anyway, what else can I tell you?
Did you? Was it just like a handful that were in stasis, or were there like, a whole community?
Well, the stasis room that I found was about maybe a dozen and a half, something along those lines. That was the one that I found, but we hadn't fully investigated the ruins before we had found that section. It's entirely possible that there are other stasis fields on the island that could have been awakened also. So I can't give you a proper answer. But one thing I could tell you that is very interesting is that there are ancient reports that the cloaked serpent did not get along with the Spider Queen or the Crawling King, and that their acolytes, their worshippers, were hunted to extinction or near extinction by the Spider Queen and the Crawling King's people. So they did not get along. No, not one bit.
Also good to know.
Oh, if you care about the imagery, I find very interesting. They say that he possesses a humanoid body with 6 arms and a fanged serpentine head adorned with a hood like a king cobra. Strands of thick dark hair sprouting from the scaled body, obscuring his forms in layers of swirling shadow. A most scary depiction of any sort of god. No one you'd want to run into.
No, most certainly not.
Their commandments are as follows. Keep your acts obfuscated and secret. The knight is your greatest ally. That is number 1. The second is strike quickly and without reason. Blind the target with their own confusion. And lastly, kill slowly, agonizingly, or worse, make them enjoy it. Those are the 3 commandments for cloaked serpents. Yes, a truly horrific god. So exciting to meet its disciples.
Oh my. Yes. Does anyone else have any questions?
Well, that's really all about all I know, if I'm being honest. I think that's about the extent of my research. There's other little things here and there that might be helpful along the way, but that is the vast sum of what I have to tell you, at least preemptively before we get there. But I also know the way back. That is important. I know the way back to the runes, and we can go there.
Absolutely.
Magnificent. Drysrinn, you receive ascending.
Okay.
This is Allura Vysoren. Please note and perhaps tell your party that the Earthbreaker of the Stormlord was murdered last night. I'm sorry for your... And that's it, as that runs out of words. Yeah, you guys suddenly see
I really think she just breaks down, starts sobbing.
Oh, fuck. Drysrinn just loses it all of the magical sudden. Literally, all of the magical sudden. What?
It
Beverly will
was
say,
Shuriel.
What's going on? What happened?
Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together. I received a sending
The inevitable end.
from Alora. Oh boy. Earthbreaker Thorn is no longer alive.
Oh.
Oh God. I watched it happen. And Yvaine just stands up and just walks. Just walks away.
I don't think Drysrinn's moving. She's just in the spot.
Kira's gonna kind of pause for a second and then go after Yvaine, but like, yeah, she's gonna go after Yvaine because what just happened?
I was dreaming. I watched it happen. I didn't try to do anything. I was dreaming. It wasn't my dream. I don't know how to weave the dream. I don't know. I watched her do it.
How? But but it wasn't a dream. If it happened, then it wasn't a dream. But you were there.
Yeah.
How? Why?
I'm a witch. I'm a witch. I'm a seer. I see things sometimes. I get premonitions, visions, a glimpse. I'm not very good at it. It never makes a difference. I just know I watched it happen. And I thought it was I didn't know it was happening in real time.
It had to be for a reason.
And this opportunity came.
Kira, I just need a moment alone, please.
House of Blue was a very prestigious place. It was their to Apollo.
And she just kind of, and she really does just look for a place to try to put herself together because she knows that she's not okay.
All right. Beverly will just kind of lend what like physical support she can to you. Drysrinn just kind of just like is a little shocked herself, but like kind of just rubs her back. Really, that's the extent of her ability to help. Unfortunately.
She'll pick herself up. I think she does the thing where she shuts down. Emotions aren't getting through anymore. Her training kicks in and she's gonna go somewhere high up and I guess deal with that internally.
All right. Yeah. Have fun. You do so.
Once Yvaine's collected herself, she will go back into the space. If she'd have talked right in that moment, it would have been just a big crying mess. So. All right, I will try to make more sense of it. Does anyone have any questions?
Whatever we're headed to find, it's big. Whatever it is.
I have to look at what's ahead. I haven't looked at what's ahead. I was thinking about it. She's so incredibly fast.
Attention and very delicately. It's easy.
Why do it now?
Big leaps and make assumptions.
If not, because we're close to something that they don't want us close to at all.
And I knew exactly what she would say. She didn't go because she was interested in him.
I cannot consider motives at this moment. I am limited as to what I can do. I am at sea. I am hundreds of leagues away. I will consider the Earthbreaker later.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a vestige yet. Isn't that happy news? Yvaine's going to go look in her book in the on the calamity and see if she can find. One of the books was on the calamity. One of the books was on the dreaming. So in her book on the calamity, she's going to see if she can find anything else about these people.
These people? Who are these people?
The Voscaris.
Oh, you look through your book and you find
Nothing else?
nada. This book, this place has yet to be documented. It is currently it's technically unfound. It's an unfound archaeological site. Nothing has been documented yet because the only person who's ever found it is on the boat with you, and he kind of hasn't been given the ability to properly investigate it. So this is a new site, and your book will have no information, unfortunately. It will note that the cloak. Would it? No, your book doesn't even mention the cloaked serpent. That's not even a god that is like well known anymore. Much like Ayun, it's a god that's only really known to a scarce few at any given time now. Not really even considered a true god anymore.
All right. And then she's going to dig into the book on the Moonweaver. And like, I'm not trying to dig. Like, she's. There is a reason that she's doing the things that she's doing. But if other people have interactions that they want to have, like, this will just come into play tonight.
Okay. Anything anyone want to do before we get around to the end of the day where
Well,
things. Yeah, go ahead.
Ember does. Seeing Drysrinn just go to absolute pieces and Yvaine do the I've gotten really bad news running about and then diving into book thing, which I've seen often enough to know, okay, there's something related here that isn't absolutely clear. I'm actually, Yvaine just needs her space. I'm gonna go look for Drysrinn.
Okay. You find probably Drysrinn up on the crow's nest.
I can get there from here.
Yeah, not terribly hard to get to. Yeah, lots of digging. I will say, as a note, it is a rainy, not lightning storm day of any kind, but it is a rainy, heavily clouded over day.
I'll just grant myself flight for 10 minutes. That'll
Yeah,
be sufficient.
That's not to say that has nothing to do with your ability to get to the crow's nest. I just mean generally to the party. You woke up today to a rainy, clouded over day. That's all. But yes, Ember, you get up there without issue, whether it be climbing or turning into the human torch. Either way, you get up there no problem.
Would you care to speak?
Oddly enough, I feel like that's something he'd say. Um, I basically grew up at the God's Brawl. Spent 15 years of my life training there. He was one of the main people I learned from. And you don't learn from somebody and not see them like them.
They are family. They are eternal in your mind and heart. And when they suddenly become not, that's shocking and disturbing at risk of vast amounts of understatement. I also I bring something for you to consider. When we went north to the Parchwood, we went looking for someone who was a hero of the Storm Lord. And they were there at Cord's bequest, one presumes. And it became significantly clear to all of us that there was a purpose in that. And it wasn't to hold up the hold up that hero, but perhaps forge a new one. While we certainly don't know what the particulars were, it is clear that Cord can work in very mysterious ways. And that perhaps sometimes he lets unfortunate things happen when it's the right time to make a change, to forge a new hero. It's not going to ease the heartache that you're going to feel, but it may give you something worth considering. And I'm certain that once Yvaine is done with her current fugue, we may get some more information. And I'm certain that the folks in Emon are going to dig more into that particular situation, and any information that is forthcoming there is going to be readily available. And in a couple of days' time, we will be back there. And if you want any assistance into bringing that to some kind of closure, I'm 100% certain that the rest of the Concordant will be behind you. So there is that as well. It's a sad day, But the impression I got in the Parchwood was that a hero of Cord who goes out in a fight at the height of their power before they become old and frail is exactly the sorts of champions and exits he would arrange for. Because those are the people he wants beside him. The valorous, the strong, with all of their power and ability intact. Not someone who has gotten older and aged to the point that they are no longer strong. Particularly true of his highest champions and greatest heroes. You trained with him, so you must know a great deal about their philosophy, but that's just what I saw as an outsider. And I thought that that might be of use while take the rest of the afternoon and process what you have.
Thank you. There's a part of me that can understand that this is just a play in the big game of life. And it's not going to stop me. I think I'm done letting hurtful things, stop me. I'm gonna just process this until we get on that island. And then we'll walk in.
As you wish. Can I bring you anything?
Actually, I might need to get down. I'm going to see if there's anybody on the ship who's got some anger issues to work out. I promised Rushbug I would practice.
Indeed so.
Excellent. Drysrinn, you would find any number of people for the first bout. They're like, yeah, sure, let's do it, all right. But you beat into the fucking dirt because you're you. And then far less people immediately after who might want to try and trade blows with you. I think the only person you get on the second bout would be the orcish boatswain, who will fight you and fights you with ferocity, but is still sore to the task, I would say. And then once everybody is scattered and gone, you're going to last see Quartermaster Brelta approach you and will trade blows with you. And being a monk themselves, is like, let's spar. Let's not, don't do to me what you did to them. And we'll take you, and then you guys basically do like a much more monk-based training, which takes you sort of back to your childhood when you actually learn the way of the monk. Because you learned the way of the monk, went to the God's Brawl, and then you were just kind of like, use what you got to survive against whoever's got what trick in their bag. So this kind of takes you back to a time where you like learned forms and like practice the way of martial arts with somebody. And it's challenging but soothing. perhaps. And as this is all going on, Drysrinn, I'll give it to you for free because it is your religion. Ember is exactly right. That it is the honor of any great warrior to fall before he is old or she is old. Those who fall stand beside court eternally, and death is not a bad thing to the follower of the Stormlord. It is a great honor to fall in battle. Mind you, how the Earthbreaker fell, you don't know the circumstances of how the Earthbreaker fell. But to know that he was killed, perhaps you might like to know circumstances, and maybe those circumstances might bring you some peace. Excellent. These isles approach more and more. Sure. Yvaine, as you are alone in your bunk, looking through your books and feeling some measure of frustration, some measure of grief,
And guilt
guilt.
and inadequacy. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Your hold off on it. Okay, don't worry about it. We move along. You will all find yourselves. I gotta do it. The dice said so, so I'm gonna do it. There's a knock at your door, Yvaine. And you're gonna see someone who you don't recognize for a moment, and then you're like, yeah, you're one of those people who washed up on that boat. And it's this woman. Her hair is like, when it's like kind of fucked up from too much seawater. It's kind of how her hair looks, and you see she's kind of tied it back to try and make it look as proper as it can, but it's like far too wavy and voluminous, and but she is fair skinned. She'll say, excuse me, sorry, I was told by the cook to deliver a meal here.
Okay.
Go over and put it on the table, dust their hands. Say, maybe I'm poking my nose a bit much, but it sounded like there was quite a commotion on the deck. Is everything okay? Is there anything I can do for you?
Riff raff. You took care of it.
Okay, certainly. Because if you needed anything,
How are you doing?
well, it just depends on what's wrong, I suppose. I not much, but I have some minor sorcery abilities. Sometimes have you ever heard of an augury?
I'm familiar, yes.
I do that for people sometimes. Makes me either very popular on boats or very unpopular on boats. But if you just need something more practical, I just thought I thought I'd offer. That's all.
I would quite like an augury if I could think of a thing to ask you.
She'll sit down beside you and say,
truthfully, how are you? Are you feeling well?
I'm much better. Your captain has the magic touch. I've seen a couple of people die on the water there, and they well, it's just simply laid a hand, and it was like gone, all better. Very impressive.
He's quite marvelous.
Yes. Good to have some good food in the belly too. There was some thought that it was our cargo that was laden with disease, and that's what kind of got us. And then when the captain died and quartermaster died, and we didn't really know which way to go, got lost at sea, and it feels like we've been on the sea for months.
What was your cargo?
It was I mean, I didn't look inside it too much, but I think what they said was it was blankets. They said they had like textiles and blankets and stuff from across the sea. I believe it was from Clovis Concord, I think they said. But I
Going to where?
just
Just wondering.
going to Stilben. We were lost at sea for a very long time. I'm amazed that we're this far. Oh, would it be west? I'm amazed we're this far west, really.
Yeah, you are quite a bit west, it's true.
I couldn't imagine ever getting that lost again in all my days. But anyway, I less about me. You said you would like an augury if you could think of a question.
Yeah, it's give me a bit. I'm sort of focused on my studies in a moment, but
Right.
I'm certain I can think of it should be something that can be answered simply if I recall how the spell works.
Yes, that's exactly it. Just something you're planning to do. If you want something a little bit more potent, my sister is far better at it.
Your sister was with you then?
Yes, my two sisters. They survived, which is very lucky, really.
I'm so grateful that you have your family. Where are you from?
Where am I from? Well, all over,
Yeah,
really. We just kind of work ships as we go. And, I don't know, all over.
you have to have a home dock, yeah?
Not really. I mean, I suppose if I had to pick one, um, probably somewhere else in the Clovis Concords. We were raised in Tal'Dorei, but, we found ourselves on boats and eventually found our way out there and we stayed there for a little bit. And,
Oh, what part of
yeah,
Tal'Dorei are you from?
it's, let's see. Where were we raised? Again, my sister would know better. I'm the youngest. Um, I think Emon, I think is what she said. It was,
Really?
yes,
Oh, how lovely. Well,
right.
that's Ember's hometown.
Ember?
The fire mage with us.
Fire mage. That's very impressive. Didn't know you had a fire mage.
He,
We only just got here and we just kind of finally getting on our feet. So I haven't really introduced myself.
what is your name?
Names. Hang on. Let me go pick some names. I should have been ready with these names. Oh my God. My name is Perella.
Well, that is a lovely name. Well,
Well, thank you.
we are on our way to someplace very hot. But
That's the sound of it.
as I recall, Stilben is on our way, sort of making a grand tour. So wherever it is you want to go, be it Stilben or Emon, I'm mostly certain that we can accommodate you.
I'm sure either would be perfect, but yeah, either would be perfect. But well, let me get you back or get you back to whatever it is you're doing. And like I said, if there's anything that you should need, just feel free to let.
Perella, thank you so much, dear.
She'll stand up and she'll leave.
Face goes right back into the book on dreams and the dreamscapes as the Moonweaver's realm, and what the fuck can she do in there anyway?
Got it.
That's the focus of the day study. She's got her work starts tonight.
Got it. So if you're just going to spend your day in your book, you won't get a day of Draconic for today.
I know.
But give me a investigation or Arcana check as you look through the book to learn a little bit about dreaming.
Gonna roll my plus or minus real quick.
Sure.
Oh, hey, it's a plus.
That's great.
That's great. I actually might not need it, to be honest with you, because that's a 14. And I have a +5. So you know what? It's 19. It's not bad for someone who's distraught.
Fair enough. Right on. A 14, you said?
Mhm.
Well, the book would be majorly about the Dreamweaver herself, and the book would be definitely like very much like a study of the realm of dreams and its relationship to divination, definitely from the perspective of somebody who's like interviewed seers, but not a seer unto themselves or has had these experiences unto themselves, and will essentially say that the realm of divination is a very difficult one to navigate. Um, it does say that, of course, there is spellcraft that is specifically tailored to utilizing the power of sleep to, um, you know, use divining powers. But the more uncontrolled side, most seers, diviners, a lot of their magic can be a little uncontrolled, a little unsteady, a little difficult to control. There are many people who have been considered insane, mad people, who actually are just untrained diviners. And it is a person to person thing. And when it comes to divination, the best way to learn about divination is to speak with someone saged in the ways of divination or a skilled diviner wizard who can teach you your own unique way, because no two diviners experience their powers in the same way.
I have to get to Vasselheim. Yes.
That would be basically what it comes down to. Is it is a very tricky, complicated subject, separating dreams from visions, and it's person to person how they are able to identify that. Cool. Anything else for anybody on the ship before we get to these isles around the end of the day?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, Tormata has pretty much a journal for every year he's been alive. He's going to spend his time rereading these journals to see, because like things will happen in your life, and then it'll be like years later, and you'll reflect upon it, and you'll have a different point of view about it. So he wants to reread his journals. One, because could he just have missed clues that the red was actually always there and she didn't really die? Or, was there other things that could have happened throughout the years that when you see one or two of them, they don't make sense, but when you put them all together, they all of a sudden click?
Absolutely.
Because he spent the last 20 years pretty much just hunting sects of the Scaled Tyrant.
Like
maybe he found something someplace and it didn't make sense at that time, and then later on he found something somewhere else, or he read about something, or information came from Bahamut's church, like that.
Absolutely. Why don't you make me an investigation check? I don't think you're going to get through all your books today, because like you say, you have a book for every year, and it's quite a bit of content. Yeah. But go right ahead. It seems that you're focusing on the red, so you can certainly target it that way.
18?
18, that's very good. And just in the same way, there is a bit of a reverse where, as the years pass by, you start to question memories you thought were so sure, and you're like, like, did I really see her die? Did I was she really dead? And like, can't be certain of that. Maybe I should go back and read and see if I missed anything. And as you go back to read regarding the red Sheldrith Beacon, you are going to read, and you're going to remember that she was a very bold, very charismatic individual. That when certain, I'm trying to be a little vague so as not to reveal everything. But when certain events were going to occur, she very boldly and very charismatically began to sway the rest of you. But her boldness sort of got in the way. And beyond all doubt, you recall killing her. You recall her death. You recall using an opportunity where she wasn't looking, when she was wounded, when she was at her weakest, and you recall delivering to her as intense a kill blow as you could manage at the time. And if your notes and your judgment as a young man are to be believed, you are certain that she died that day. And that's what you get from your investigation. You sort of read through these things, and your words remind you of the confidence you had when you were young of what you had done. Maybe even the horror of what you had done, because this was as close to a friend as you had back then, probably. So you probably trying to deal with it, but you read this, you recall the event itself, you recall how you did it, what spell you used, where you aimed, and after result, and you recall being utterly certain in your defeat of the red. And it refills you with the feeling that you did succeed. You did it. You did kill her. She should be dead. So what you saw was either your mind playing tricks at you, or some magic spell. The legend lore probably holds hints as to the truth, but you're beyond a shadow of a doubt that you did what you did at the time, or you were certain that you had anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Anything else from anyone? Nope. Okay. With that, the sun will begin to set. And as the sun begins to go down and begins to burn on the horizon, so too does it begin to match the colors you see on the horizon. Underneath the black smoke, you are going to see the two islands, the Visa Isles. You're going to see the burning red below of the island, and you are going to see two islands. You're going to see very much the larger one by 3 or 4 times its size, and further to the from where you're coming from, because you're coming from north down south, so you're coming at it from its northern tip. You're traveling at its north, and so further down to its south west is the smaller isle. To where Shirku says, "Well, we're just about there." He'll look at Jorman Va, or whatever his name is, the half-orc. Here we go. Yeah, he looks to Jorlan Vor and says, "So you're the one who is the grand expert. Where is it that you propose that we pull anchor?" He says, "Oh, yes, you're going to want to pull anchor right between the two islands. Yes, we will be going on to the western shore of the larger island. Please and thank you." He goes, "Very well, easy enough. All right, we're going around the western shoreline and calling forth through the river that sits between the two isles. Prepare yourselves for some more close quarter sail." At which point, the ship and its crew are very decisive and move very well together. There are some sharp rocks. There are some difficulties going around. It's going to require some finesse. The wheel is, you guys know the anchor wheel that is set into many ships where you have to like crank it around and a couple people go around it. That seems to be what they use to steer with. And Shirku and the first mate sort of stand on the top, kind of call orders down. and the crew members kind of move back and forth based on the direction. And it isn't as heavy as others, so it moves a little bit more quickly. They make directions, they make calls, the ship moves back and forth. The quartermaster stands on the edge, makes calls about rocks coming underway. The first mate sort of calling out, telling people to sort of keep working and keep working hard. Very intimidating, like thunder in her voice. She's like, "Go now over there, pull the reins, and don't you slack off." Very demanding first mate, but that is how first mate work is done best in the heat of the moment. And the captain makes very good calls, and you guys find yourself coming into set anchor with great finesse on Shirku and his crew's part until anchor is dropped. You are set firmly between the two isles. True to what was told, you're going to see two isles. To what would be the left of the ship, the starboard side. Oh, I gotta turn the ship upside down. No, port side. To the port side, as you look left-hand side, you are going to see the top, the largest of the two islands, and it is coated in jungle. It is a heavy, heavy jungled island where you hear all manner of strange sounds coming from it. Definitely mosquitoes. Find yourself, maybe not you, Drysrinn, because you're a dragonborn. You don't have flesh to pierce with, but Hero, Yvaine, Tormata, Ember, maybe a little less for you, Tormata, because of your robes and your own scales, but the rest of you kind of slapping yourself, mosquitoes and the thick, sort of moist air jungle, the humidity. But to your right, you're going to see an island with a single jutting volcano that spews out black onto the other side. Shirku says, "You're losing light. I might suggest holding off for the night and begin your exploration tomorrow. Whatever you wish to do is up to you. This is merely my suggestion." Just for fun.
Actually, I think it's a grand suggestion. We should do exactly that.
Excellent. So just for fun, this is what your small island looks like, as you are sort of moored between the two. I should give it some more sounds. But anyway, please continue.
Can you share that with us?
Oh, fuck, am I not sharing my screen?
Is it in Roll20?
Nope, I should be sharing my screen. I've been just playing all by myself, apparently. How long has it not been on?
Since we came back.
Oh, okay, good. Not the whole game. That's
no,
better.
I know we were just speaking and such.
Yep, okay, cool. Sweet. I guess as you're coming tonight, the rain is let up by now. Yeah. You guys are kind of moored outside of this island here again with the big single jutting volcano that spews out black smoke. That's what you're kind of seeing from your ship.
I'm going to turn to, what's his name, Jorlin Vor, the archaeologist.
Yep.
In the time since you've left and, obviously you've returned, did you ever learn or figure out, even assumption, even maybe a vague idea, of what exactly you and your group did that triggered this? You said it was some sort of stasis spell, right? Or stasis effect?
Yes, indeed.
Any thoughts on how it was triggered?
I would very much like to know. The unfortunate part is that my many members of my team died exiting the ruins. It is very unfortunate. Though they were sort of sloppy and drowsy and whatever, they were also hungry. Let's leave it at that. It was a daring exit, let's put it that way. But I did commiserate with my other members of my archaeological team, and some people had. It was a flurry of people saying some people perhaps one of our members perhaps leaning on one of the fields or touching something they shouldn't have, but no direct answer was called. But I did manage to look at the runes a little bit. I was more interested in the actual ability to create stasis. They used some form of pyromantic magic, actual cold magic, because, well, I assume to some degree that the serpent folk have cold blood, much like their snake friends, that they do not enjoy the cold, and it puts them into sort of hibernated state, even a dangerously even a more dangerous state. But for whatever reason, it combined Cairo magic with some other kind of magic, which I can only assume to be transmutation and perhaps even abjuration and evocation was what the detect magic were called. But before I could do too much analysis, the runes broke. I'm sure the inlays of the runes still remain, so there's more study to be done. But unfortunately, they were deactivated by unknown means.
So, so you saw rune stones, or just runes in the air, or?
Oh, I would be. He goes searching through his bag very excitedly for the request, and he'll put before you a very well drawn out image with like arrows and little scribbles or notes being pointed at it, and it basically shows this. It looks almost like an archway that is perfectly sized to fit someone no taller than about 8 feet. It is decorated, carved stone filigreed with certain metals. And around the side, there are these sort of draconic symbols around the side that seem to be an arcane, draconic form of runic magic that you are perhaps fascinated with, but are unfamiliar with, just because of the immensity of its ancientness and the magical advancement must be far beyond what we are at here. And his notes say as much. It says, I would be very interested to understand the magic. This is Age of Arcana magic.
Okay. So
there
we're
several
looking
of these
for,
line next to next.
So we're looking for these types of runes, and if we see them, we want to avoid them, as they may or may not be stasis fields. Is that correct?
I would be careful touching them. Yes, I'm not sure exactly what deactivated them, but it can be found out if I am given more than about 120 seconds to look at them.
Okay, that brings me back to my question that you kind of said something about. You said that they were sleepy and hungry?
Yes, they came out. Many of them were drowsy. Most of them, in fact, were drowsy, and they were magnificent creatures. Snake bodies.
Oh, okay, okay. You're speaking of the snake folk, not your fellow expedition members.
Yes,
okay.
Correct. The runes vanished due to someone's accident, and then the serpent folk came out awake, sort of stumbling around a little bit, and we watched in awe. And then, before a word could be exchanged, one of them shot forward and bit down onto my fellow member and fellow party member, and blood spewed forth and began to feast on their flesh and blood. And that is when we decided it was time to leave.
Okay, another question that's not really related to the runes and all that and the Stibber folk, but I mean it is in a way. Are you hoping to recover your former expedition members' bodies to return to their loved ones, if they had any?
If they could be found, it would be the only honorable thing to do.
Okay.
I must, however, admit there is a great portion of me that fears that if they are not dead, they perhaps have been transformed. There were many images and murals on the wall that suggested they had rites and rituals to bring slaves and servants into their actual race, to transform them into these serpent folks by the grace of their god. So here, this is the cloaked serpent. Well, I wouldn't call it grace, but it seemed they had rituals to create more from slaves and servants.
Okay. And what dangers can we expect on this island aside from, he's kind of like, going to wave at a mosquito and then get a little irritated and just drop the temperature around himself about 20 degrees.
Suddenly just I mean, that's a very loud sound, but just a little mosquitoes just kind of float out of the air. They fucking die almost immediately. Vor's very impressive, or Vor's very impressed. He says, dangerous. Let me think. The jungle itself holds very few dangers. There's a couple of fire beetles, which are really more of a nuisance than anything. They're about the size of a small dog. They might try and bite you, but again, they're very slow, very unsteady creatures. They're no more dangerous than an angry cat, really. There might be some rather oversized bugs, but those are really the only dangers you'll find in the jungle, as far as I know. There is, however, when you get into the ruins or around the ruins, we might run into some ghosts. The ghosts of the serpents, whatever the name of this place is called. They may be about. And if we do find them, we know we're getting close, which is a good thing.
Any environmental things to worry about? Earthquakes, magma, bad smoke.
Yes, I would stay away from volcanoes. Indeed, they are active. They are active volcanoes. Very, very hot. We did go to look just in case there was something interesting to see. They are quite active. Magma, lava, fire, scorchingly hot. We decided to stay away.
Oh, okay. Thank you for answering my questions. That's all I had.
Of course, anytime.
Unfortunately, he's going to look at the rest of the party. I do not have the ability to tap into other spells, so what I have is what I have.
I should probably be prepared for environmentally. Maybe similar to when we went delving. Anyone who's particularly sensitive to heat, if there's a way we can mitigate that, we may want to. Also, I would imagine poison. Being prepared for poison. That seems like a wise idea.
Jord would certainly agree with you. He says, yes, the cloak serpent's doctrine is poison, is a great ally to any warrior or assassin. Yes, and the serpent folk were reputed to almost worship poison in a way. So I would be very careful of poison.
At that, Tormado's going to reach to his side and open up the pouch that's on his hip. And then he's going to pull out a couple of vials. I have antitoxin. It's only the 2, but
Oh,
other
excellent.
than nothing.
That's a good thing to have, actually. It
Oh,
may be wise to bring Shirku with us.
This is going to sound extremely weird. He takes his backpack off and goes digging around in it, and he pulls out these. They look like sticks of butter, but they smell really bad when he unwraps them. This is this is insect repellent. We burn it at night, and it should keep the majority of the bugs away. I got this years ago, and I completely forgot about it. I've never had to use them before.
I think they should keep those things away, actually.
Above table, I put them on my character sheet. Never thought I'd need them.
Yeah. You probably got those down in the Riffiness Peninsula, anyway, or maybe from. I don't even know where you would have got them, Frank. But
I just figured Stilben because it's such a shithole.
Yeah, that's fair. That's actually very fair. Yeah. No, that's very fair. It's funny. Yeah. Shirku says, I'm always up for another adventure if that means slaughtering evil Age of Arcanum snake people. Another legend to add to Shirku Marine's many myths.
Damn straight. All right, well.
What god do we think the Cloak Serpent dislikes? Goes through all of his holy amulets. The Dawnfather, yes. Hard to hide in shadow when the light shines upon you.
Yeah, light's a real good idea.
Beverly looks like every time he does that, Beverly looks like it just doesn't compute for her that he just is like trading around gods like it's like they're business cards.
Yvaine is in awe of it. It's like, honestly, it makes so much sense.
I have the components for legend lore. 5 sets remaining. Should we try it and see if we can learn something about this place?
Abor goes, oh,
I'm
magnificent.
a terrible person to ask that. Like, anytime you feel like you need to ask that question, just know that the answer is always yes. Always.
We love our divination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask the Star Druid, should we divine this? What do you think?
All right. I'll burn up a set and cast legend lore. What exactly do you guys want me to attempt to delve up? If I just say this island, it's probably going to tell me something stupid about the mud or something.
Did you know the trees are rare breeders?
Yeah.
I would like to know about this cryostasis. Like, how did they?
Yeah. Vor will go. Oh yes, do the my brain. Hang on.
I hate when that happens.
I don't want to do your brain.
No, don't do my brain. I know enough about that. It's a scary enough place already. No, do the Volscaris ruins. Maybe we might learn something about the ruins themselves.
Yes, that's a good one.
Okay. As I've told you before, as I'm doing this and I'm mumbling and I start to write or draw things, it may not make sense until I'm complete. So try not to ask me any questions while I'm doing it. And he'll find a nice clear spot, lay everything out, and go ahead and cast legend lore.
Oh, right. Well, you know about as much of this place as a person can from... Because you've spoken to the archaeologist, you know as much about this place as anybody who is not from the ruins themselves or lived in the Age of Arcanum. So you know quite a bit. It is most certainly a famous place because it was the capital of an Age of Arcanum empire. Let's see. Okay, I got something good for you. Because this guy's basically unloaded everything he knows about the place on you. He will tell you some interesting stuff, to be sure. More information you already know about the thing, more precise and detailed the information is. Information is accurate, but might be. Okay. Give me a moment to get you that info. So I had to go through my notes a little bit. Caught me off guard.
No, you're good. You're good.
Let's see. That's good. Oh. Not this. Maybe this guy. Just looking a minute to load. Nope, not that one. Probably this one.
Well, while you're doing that, just so we're all on the same page, we all believe that there will be serpent folk wandering around this island, correct? You guys all believe that?
I mean, we know for certain there were when he left, and if it's largely an unfriendly island, yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure we all like, hey, I didn't know these would be here.
Oh, no, I'm assuming that they will be there, that they will be hostile. Apparently, they will want to either eat us or sacrifice us to their god.
Okay. I've got your info. What remains of fucking name of this place? So hard to pronounce. Okay, here we are. What remains of the Volscaris capital city on the Visa Isles is a very specific portion of the city. It is indeed the most structurally sound part of the city, which was chosen by the ancient Volscaris wisemen, essentially, to be the place where they created these magic stasis fields because it was the most structurally sound building in the Empire, which was their temple to the Cloaked Serpent. Those that were chosen to be a part of this stasis were only the strongest and most powerful of the population. In fact, the Empire took a great deal of time to summon only their strongest and most powerful warriors, assassins, statesmen to the Empire to be selected to be put into stasis. So only the most important and best people to do the job. Amongst them, the greatest of their warriors, the greatest and most devout to the Cloaked Serpent, would have been his champion, Zalvron, the greatest warrior the Cloaked Serpent ever deemed worthy to wield his arm at the declare. That is what you'd like.
All right, I'll share that with everybody.
Right, so we got a champion out here, maybe a vestige. Huzzah.
I'm going to give you that name in the chat. Just write it down. There. Hey. Is there anything else you guys would like to do today, or would you like to take a little nap and wake up and go to business?
Good.
Yvaine has one thing she wants to, she's going to cast the dream spell at night, but she'll wait till nighttime for that.
Sure. If that is all, who would you like to enter the dream of?
She's actually not going to enter the dream. She's going to create a little, she's going to pull like a star down and create like a little firefly and send it off to Zalakas. And she's respectfully going to request an audience. She was told she could, but she, I mean,
Who?
Zalakas, the broken angel in Wildmount.
Holy
He's
fuck.
been wandering Wildmount since the age of Arcanum.
Jesus Christ. Jesus, that's fucking cool. Could you type up the name for me? Just so that when I go hunting through my notes, I'm able to.
Yeah. So when we did the
I remember. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
No, I got it now. It took me a hot minute. I'm gonna roll to see if this one's a sleep. Blast from the past, man.
She basically said that I could just reach out to her, so we'll see if it works.
Okay. Okay, let's see. She's a... Ooh, she's a big one. Okay. I'm gonna roll to see if this person is accessible. You send out a little firefly. Let's requesting an audience. You will simply have a sort of message return. You feel this presence come to you, this spirit that doesn't have the spirit of deep compassion comes to you and offers you find her in the wastelands of Jorhas, wherever you wish.
All right, well. I guess we'll have to make that happen then.
Okay. It's actually kind of funny that this has come up, because Ember, I got one for you. Hard to find privacy on this ship, but you like to sleep in your ring, if I'm not mistaken, yeah?
Yep. Absolutely.
You go into your ring, as usual, and you see this door of like flame, like basically fire burns a rectangle into your wall that forms into a very elegant door. And you hear a knock on the door. You will see Lord Estrix standing at your door.
It's a little cluttered. Please come in. And he'll bustle around a chair.
Well, I like what you've done with the place. Well done, Emma. Truly. I just wanted to have a little chat, if you don't mind. I was astonished by our last conversation, and I just wanted to speak with you about it. I do owe you congratulations. You have now become the champion of the Changebringer since last year in Emon, yes?
I hold that title
challenger, something like that.
For what it's worth, for the day of challenging. The long history is that it usually comes down to a brawl between Cord and a disciple of Bahamut. So,
decidedly, I see. Well, I am, as you know, I am not really from around here too much. At least not enough to know well about the this day of challenging, which has become quite the excitement as of late. But since you have given me a little hint who to bet on, I am quite excited to have my attendance. But I wanted to speak to you about the Changebringer. I found it a very fascinating facet of your journey, and quite a fitting one. And it's piqued my own curiosity. May I ask, Changebringer, is this because of your affinity for flame? Because how flame is so often connected with change?
I think in part that's probably where it began. As you very correctly point out, fire is often an agent of change. Sometimes it's a controllable change. Smiths use fire to shape things, and that's perfectly fine. Other times it's a forest fire that tears through, and that changes things too. And, you know, that moment of change, for me personally, has been a journey that's fraught with complication, in that I feel very strongly about things from time to time, and it sees me react equally strongly, drawing on my own personal gifts and the ones that you have been kind enough to grace me with. And in fullness, I see that as part of the same allegorical journey, trying to find a place of balance that balances the calm with the passion and occasionally rage that is necessary to affect change.
Most interesting. I must admit, it has piqued my own curiosity, frankly. If there was ever a god to worship for someone with the affinity of flame, the Changebringer seems quite apt. Perhaps the Dawnfather, but I really feel the Changebringer most apt, because, like you say, a burnt forest is change unto itself, and from that burnt down forest, a new, maybe even healthier one might sprout.
That does seem to be the case some of the time, or so I've been told. It's not my area of expertise. I can get the forest to burn, but what becomes of it thereafter is different territory.
Indeed. And I think for people like me and you, those with the affinity for flame, it is just that. It is for the others to do with it what they will after. If a hurricane destroys a bridge, it is for whoever comes along to decide if that bridge should be rebuilt, or if they should install a ferry, perhaps make a new innovation. I would argue that it is our job to be the voice of change. If the Changebringer is to be believed, perhaps it is our job, those of fire, to bring about healthy destruction.
Well,
underline the word healthy.
there is some truth to be had there. I've been part and parcel with the thwarting of several plans, and that has caused the people who were engaged in those to be destroyed. And I would,
for the better,
for an abundance of reasons, there should be a degree of remorse for the necessity. But to be perfectly honest with you, there isn't.
Well, we can't be perfect. For what isn't always as it should be, I suppose.
Indeed.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to come forth and lend you my appreciation for, I suppose, opening my eyes to the idea of the Changebringer and how it might affect those of us with perhaps an ability some might consider a curse, one that doesn't have much use other than, well, of course, the use of warmth and perhaps some help in the kitchen, but by and large, a destructive force that is difficult to contain at times. And it just it just took me the right way, and I wanted to show you my appreciation.
I'm what little I know and understand. I'm happy to share. It's still very much a journey for me, one that I don't fully understand, nor do I necessarily expect that I ever necessarily will. But
Most wise.
it has helped me find a space by which that urge to make change happen be tempered in a way that lets it be more beneficial than it is harmful.
Understood. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, fire. Whatever emotion fuels behind it, what is important is simply how it is used, like any tool, perhaps, indeed. Well, with that said, remember that we should use our fire for change, healthy change. And to that end, I hope you have fun slaying that slaving bastard that we ran into down in the Lord Estrix crater. Certainly, without a beyond a reason of a doubt, if you were to make him not capable of continuing his diabolical affairs, it would be a change for good in the multiverse.
I look forward to finding out and bringing an end to those ways. I did not appreciate how those people were treated.
Yes, indeed.
But we have 2 islands to search and a ancient snake cult to deal with, and a volcano that is apparently spewing shenanigans. So it should be an interesting time.
Well, I wish you the best of fun dealing with these things. And in the meantime, I am taking a break from my own travels to understand this Changebringer a little bit better, I think. Well, perhaps I shall see you in the coming days, and maybe we might discuss more.
And Ember will get up and he will go and rummage around. He has a prayer book for Avandra, and I will give it to him.
Ah, most fortunate. Are you sure, Ember?
Absolutely. I will acquire another one in the fullness of time. But
well,
if not to you, then to whom?
Very kind of you, very kind of you. Well, perhaps it's time for a change in volume for you then. All right. Well, let me leave you to your rest then. Thank you for your late night visit. And I shall see you in the coming days. And yes, let us destroy some shitty slavers and also temper some fire for when possibility arises. I'm new to this, but that seems to be the way. Have a good day. Have a good evening.
You as well.
And he will depart. And as he closes the door, that doorway will burn away and the wall will return back to the solid form that you once had it shaped as.
That's nifty and handy.
That, you may all get a long rest. And as you arise tomorrow, your expedition into the Visa Isles is certain. And all there.
Woot woot.
Woot woot. Yeah, we like to roleplay in this game. And and there ain't nothing wrong with that. We love that. But yeah, next week we got some adventure.